Your home for the NFL. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Former Cowboys wide receiver Brandon Cooks has a new team today. He is signing with the New Orleans Saints. 2 years, $13 million. Saints originally drafted Cooks in the first round back in 2014. Houston Texans have signed another offensive lineman. His name is Trent Brown. Signs a 1-year, $3 million deal. Spurs return to action tonight inside the Frost Bank Center against those 76ers. Tip-off at 7.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Friday, time to crack one open here at Twin Peaks, the Westover Hills location, 410 and 151.
I tell you what, a lot of people already have cracked some open. There's a lot of beer being served out here on this Friday afternoon. Beautiful Friday afternoon. A lot of basketball on the TVs all over the place here at Twin Peaks. And well, the Baylor Bears got the day started off right for me.
Well, I tell you what, there's been so many good games early already, although I know if you had Alabama, you've been sweating until about right now. They will win against Robert Morris. It's now a 10-point game, but that was a back-and-forth game all the way around. Memphis and Colorado State right now 36-31 at the half. That's a better game than I thought than a lot of people thought. And Baylor did survive. They beat, upset, if you will, seeding-wise, Mississippi State 75-72.
Fantastic game for the Baylor Bears. I'm very happy about that one. So it's always nice to get your first win of the day with the first game of the day. Now I need Memphis to win, and I just go to step by step. So I don't have a perfect bracket, Minix, but I'm going to have a perfect day today.
Are you really?
Yes.
I mean, you were bragging about your perfection for about the first 18 minutes of the tournament yesterday.
I had
giving me a bunch of crap because I lost the first game yesterday. Yet last night when we all went to bed, you and I had the same record, which sucked. But it was the exact same record.
It is the exact same record. That's right. It's early, man. It's early.
It's early.
It's early.
It's early.
So when I have my perfect bracket today, I'm right back up there on the top.
Absolutely. Now, I a little distracted, as you can imagine, here at Twin Peaks. It's also lingerie day, and that's not really what's got me distracted right now. Can you see from where you're sitting the pickup truck that is backed into that first parking lot right there? Can you read those stickers?
Yes. And I think I can read that on the air.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'm gonna show you a picture of this truck. Make sure his license plate isn't in there. Just so you could see the big old window stickers this dude has on the back of his truck that's here at Twin Peaks.
That's pretty cool.
It's comical. It takes a lot of stones to put "I love MILF and cookies" on one window and Haktua on the other window.
Well, at least he knows he's putting it out there. And people know what he wants. Good for him. Hey, I don't blame him for doing that. I'm not sure there's any MILFs in here today, but
well, I'm sure there are. But at the same time, dude gets out of his truck and he's wearing a Dodgers hat.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. You talk about a
beep. Uh-huh. Exactly. That's just funny because, I mean, dude, seriously?
Yeah.
I
didn't even know this. Where do you buy something like that? For you order that? Amazon?
The internet's a wonderful thing. Probably not Amazon, but they probably have various websites that you can go to.
Well, very cool. Good for him. Looks good on his truck. It's his truck, so it looks good.
It's just comical. Come see us here at Twin Peaks. Take a picture with the truck. It's amazing the number of people that do take a picture of his truck. But we also have Papa Roach tickets to give away.
Papa Roach.
Yeah, that show tomorrow night down at the Frost Bank Center, which makes for a pretty good evening that you could plan tomorrow in that same general area, because next door at Freeman Coliseum, the Gunslingers have their home opener. And so you can go to the football game and then walk right across the parking lot and go to a rock and roll show.
Perfect.
That sounds like a great Saturday night.
Sounds like a pretty good plan. Speaking of Freeman Coliseum,
yep,
and football, the Brahmas are about to get their season underway.
Yeah, they are. Of course, they play in the Alamo Dome.
They do. We're talking football.
Oh, yeah. Well, he said, speaking of Freeman Coliseum, depending on which way you're going, you'll drive past it on your way to the dome.
And football.
Uh-huh. Segues in radio are difficult. One day you'll figure that out, right?
Maybe so.
Yeah, you'll get there. The Brahmas do kick off their regular season on the road next weekend. But Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, will join us in just over an hour at 3:15. A couple of big announcements from Coach Wade Phillips that he wants to make here on the Blitz. So Coach Phillips will be on with us at 3:15 here on the Blitz.
That's awesome. And again, their season does get underway, next weekend.
Yep.
And so looking forward to that. And I think just looking at the talent that the Brahmas have could be another good year.
Yeah, well, and again, remember last year they were picked to finish at the bottom. And, they won their conference championship and almost won the whole thing. And obviously they want to build on that. And what I'm impressed with is the number of guys they have coming back for year two. So especially within their coaching staff, along with the players. So change of quarterback, and we'll see if that makes all the difference in the world for them.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to talking to Wade Phillips, which we will do, by the way, every Wednesday. Wednesdays with Wade. We'll be back beginning next Wednesday. So
thanks for blowing the big announcement that he was going to make it 3:15.
That was the announcement?
Yeah, that was the announcement.
Oh, come on, dude. That's the worst kept secret ever. He's got another announcement he's going to make.
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
There is that.
Dude. What, did I just break news? Pledge, is that why you're doing that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had this whole meeting earlier, talked about all this, and Pledge has things ready to go for the video for when he actually makes the announcement.
We never had a meeting about that.
Well, I mean, yeah, we were having lunch right here, right at that table there. I even showed you all my notes from the meeting earlier, if you could read them.
No, I can't read them.
Well,
where does it say anything about Wednesdays with Wade?
Well, right up here at the top.
Oh, it does? Okay. Well, whose announcement is that? I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Well, yeah, true. Good point.
Yes, Wednesdays with Wade.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Coach. There's still a little bit of your thunder there.
Yeah, that's it. He doesn't give a damn.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't give a damn.
Yeah.
Interesting stories about Micah Parsons. And then an interesting tweet about Micah Parsons. It's this week long. Is he going to get signed? Is he not going to get signed? And then this tweet today. We'll try to interpret this, try to figure out what this actually means, because we don't have a deal yet. And again, we've been close. We've seen reports they were close, reports that they were not close, reports that they had conversations that weren't meaningful. We don't have a deal yet. And this interesting tweet from Micah Parsons today, depending on how you want to interpret it, could mean a lot of different things. Let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz, live out at Twin Peaks, 410 and 151 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Does this sound like your marriage? Wake up and realize that there's a better life waiting. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. At Barton & Associates, we specialize in navigating the complexities of divorce law, protecting your best interests, and ensuring you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but here's the thing. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you could take control of the process and secure your future. If you're serious about protecting yourself and securing your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team you need. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. If you're tired of this, then start your better life today with Barton & Associates. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio. Rock's Discount Vitamins thanks God and San Antonio for all the support. The time is here, San Antonio. Mark your calendars. 1 day, 2 locations, Saturday, March 22nd. Stop by Rock's Discount Vitamins for the Spring Break Bash. Special guest C.T. Fletcher will be at the Culebra location from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then head to the Petranco location from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Plus, get 20% off the entire store all day. That's Saturday, March 22nd. Rock's Spring Break Bash. Follow Rock's on Instagram at Rock's Discount or call 210-342-ROCK.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sportsbook, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com. And join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Twin Peaks 410 and 151. First round action today. It has been a lot better of the early games as far as excitement and action than what we had yesterday.
Boy, no kidding. That Baylor Mississippi State game was right down to the wire, and then Alabama got the scare of their life from Robert Morris. They finally pull away and win that thing, but boy, it was touch and go there for a while.
And you know, even yesterday's game, well, there were a lot of blowouts yesterday for the most part, but some really good games. But we talked a lot yesterday about those late games, probably going to be better than you think. And were they great? I mean, I don't know if how you turned any of that, especially that Texas Tech or that Michigan game, off early to go to bed, because both those games right down to the wire. That was fun basketball to end the night.
Well, it's funny because what was it, San Diego State? They made a ferocious rally and just could not quite get back in that ball game. But a good one, and then it sets up a good matchup for tomorrow with Michigan and Texas A&M.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be fun.
The Aggies get that win over Yale. Today, 2 games going on as we speak. Make it 3 games because Duke and Mount St. Mary's has started, but it's already over. 13-2, Duke with the lead over the Mountaineers of Mount St. Mary's. Memphis and Colorado State, 36-31. Iowa State, no problem with Lipscomb, 73-46, late in the second half of that one.
And Duke's just come. By the way, Cooper Flagg is playing.
Yeah.
Right? So he is out there playing, and they're all over Mount St. Mary's. I don't think he'll be playing in the second half, or I wouldn't imagine too much anyway. This game's going to be over quick.
You know, when you look at and you think about, we're at Twin Peaks 410 and 151 right down the road from the Golf Club of Texas, which is where we will have our spring golf tournament coming up on April 14th, just a couple of weeks away. Brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. You are running out of time to get signed up. You know, we get these updates and the number of teams, and you need to get signed up. We're about 10 teams left. So, and I think there's a couple of teams while they show open. I know the sponsors and whatnot. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's accounted for yet. Because I even emailed, I'm like, hey, are we sure? Because they weren't included in the last update. So I want to make sure that those are included. Either way, get your teams signed up, sasportstar.com. It is a lot of fun. And you think about the scenery here at Twin Peaks, they will have a group out there. So some of that scenery will be at the Golf Club of Texas. Our friends from the Roo Pub, they will have, they always have one of the best and most entertaining and attractive holes. Our friends from Slackers, Tally's Pub.
Tally's Pub. All right.
Which is over here off Petranco. And if you've seen if you've been in Tally's, but if you've seen them on Facebook or whatever, so I mean, there's a lot of reasons to get signed up besides playing golf. And more importantly, you're helping a great organization, the Pan American Golf Association.
Yeah, not only that, but the food's great. It's going to be all over the place. Drinks all over the place. You're not going to be thirsty. And it's just a lot of fun. Nobody takes this thing all that serious. Well, some do. Some do. But most everybody's out there to have a great time, and everybody ends up having a great time. So come on out and play with us. I can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is always a blast. So get your foursome signed up, sasportstar.com. So the week-long, are we going to get a deal done with Micah Parsons? And again, if we were to lay money on a deal getting done for Micah in March, I think most people would have taken the over. Yeah, it ain't getting done right now. But this week, there were times where you kind of feel like, well, maybe it will happen. Maybe Jerry is going to do something different, mainly because there's no reason to wait. But then it's Jerry. But it's also Micah. And as much as I've credited David Mulligetta this week after the deal he did with Derek Stingley, that, if Micah wants to get this done, he will. But at the same time, there's an article today about Jamar Chase's contract now that the details are out. And it's not really what we all thought it was. He's not really the highest paid non-quarterback if you take away the non-guaranteed years, because it really is all about the guarantees. So Micah Parsons, just a little while ago, a couple hours ago, right before lunch, tweets out, some of these agents don't have the best interest for y'all, man. Wake up. At David Mulligetta has been showing it time and time again. It's sad seeing some of these players get violated by teams because of lack of decency and effort by their agents.
Now, is he talking about Jamar Chase's agent, perhaps, after seeing the numbers on that thing? Is that what he's talking about? Or I can't think of somebody else that it has been violated, certainly.
I don't know. We're connecting dots, right? Not reporting, speculating.
Yep.
The tweet came, within an hour after the Pro Football Talk article dropped about the deal for Jamar Chase. But also, Osa Odighizuwa was at Micah Parsons' charity event last night. And, in fact, Micah made a check presentation to Osa's foundation at the deal last night. And when we first saw Osa's deal and the overall numbers, 4 years, like, man, good. I mean, but then when you saw the breakdown, you go, my goodness, the Cowboys rolled one over on Osa because it's not as attractive as what it first was. So I don't know if it's a combination of that, but also it feels like, while Micah has been saying, I'll take less, he's got an agent, David Mulligetta, that seems to be educating a lot about what is real and what isn't real.
I tell you, it's interesting, and we kind of got a preview of this, Jason, didn't we? When Jerry Jones was talking about incentive-laden deals.
Yep.
That's what Osa's is, basically. He can make a lot of money, but there are a lot of incentives and steps that he has to make. And maybe that's I don't know. I mean, Osa's not a dumb guy. He's a smart guy. Obviously, you have an agent to help take care of that stuff, but it seems like he could have done a lot better than he did. And this Jamar Chase story is fascinating because of just the guaranteed money. So did Cincinnati get over on Chase?
No, I mean, Jamar Chase is by no means going to be scrounging for dinner money or rent money on mansions anytime soon. But it's not what the headlines were. If you go with just guaranteed money, he's not the highest paid non-quarterback ever. Now, if you add in the non-guarantee years, then sure. But we all know those bogus years, rarely does anybody actually play on those. And when you look at the length of the deal, will he still be at the level and worthy of those kind of numbers? And if he is, he's going to have gone back to the table and restructured and tried to get new money. Because, that's one of the problems with these NFL contracts, and all of them are this way, is none of them are real, except for the guarantees. You got all these bogus years, and that's partly why like say Dak Prescott's got a salary cap hit higher than what it should be, because they had some bogus years at the end to help absorb some cap money over time, and those have to get paid, even though he's not playing on those, and those aren't real years. They're just there to help with mathematics. And so you got to have 3 different math degrees and accounting degrees and whatnot to really understand some of this. And it seems like David Mulligetta, and again, I'll go back to the Stingley deal, 89 of the 90 million guaranteed. Now, we haven't seen the full breakout like we're seeing on some of these others yet, but according to the initial reports, 89 of 90 guaranteed, starting in 2 years after this current deal is up. It will be interesting to see the breakout. I do like that Mulligetta is educating in a big way, educating Micah, because I think that's half the battle. I mean, because like Osa would have made more money as far as guarantees playing on the tag this year than what he is actually getting on the 4-year deal that he signed, that in reality is a 2-year deal.
And if he'd have hit the open market, he would have probably made a ton of money and guarantees. Look, I don't know what happened there with that, but we said it at the time. I mean, Jerry got over on Osa Odighizuwa and his representatives. And granted, I say he got over on him. Again, the guy's not going to starve to death, and he's not going to miss any mortgage payments. But it in the scheme of things, we're dealing with monopoly money like we are in the NFL. He could have made a hell of a lot more money than he is going to make on this current deal. So,
although I mean, we say that we don't. I mean, it's all in the structure. Now, there is potential that all of that is real and turns into real, but it's certainly not guaranteed. I always just look at the guaranteed money. You know, if he hits all of incentives and they pick up that extra year that isn't, that's a team option. That's the thing. Your team option. There's a lot of money on there if we decide to pick it up.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Look, Jerry won that deal.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's any question about that. Jerry Jones won that deal. So it's a big win for Jerry, and it's going to be interesting to see what he tries to do with Micah Parsons, especially after seeing what's going on with Jamar Chase's deal. Is Jerry going to try and configure a contract that way? And is Mota looking for fully guaranteed money? So a lot of things that could be holding this up and may hold it up for some time.
Well, and again, you look at, I do expect Micah to get done. But at the same time, as many times as I have said, it's easy at this point.
Yeah.
This is what complicates it. And Mota seems to get more guaranteed money for his guys than some of the other agents out there. And you wonder how much that could factor in at this point for the delay or the structure, the guarantees, when they're going to get paid. Because he even started to say yesterday before a PR guy cut him off, when he was asked, is he disappointed he doesn't have a deal yet? He said no before they cut him off. So it's not ugly yet, but it certainly feels like it could get ugly.
It certainly could, or intense negotiations. That's to be for sure. So it's see how it plays out again. And we'll talk to Jon Machota later in the show, as we do every Friday. He said last week he doesn't expect anything to get done until this summer sometime. And I wonder if anything has changed in his mind after talking as briefly as he did with Micah Parsons, because it was Machota who asked that question. And just what he's hearing and the way it's going. So, as Cowboy fans would like for that to get done and have it over with, and you start concentrating on the draft. And then you don't have to worry about Micah, missing May, for example, the first set of OTAs, which will come around. It's just again, they make me scratch my head.
Well, a lot of teams do. We just focus on Dallas, and they get there. But
Cowboys more so.
And they have done some good work this offseason, so you don't want to get that messed up. You look at getting the deal done with Osa, when they get Micah done, and bringing back Dante Fowler. And Dante Fowler had a great year last year in Washington. Leaves Dallas, goes to Washington. But he did say today he credits his time in Dallas for the year that he had with the Command Skins.
It was pretty big, just to be able to go out there and, still go out there and just like you say, show the people that I'm still here and be able to produce at a high level. I felt really confident going in this season, especially with these past 2 years, getting to work from Coach AD and Micah and D-Law with the D-Line group that we had. I definitely took a lot of that and learned a lot from these past couple of years, and took that to Washington and, just put it all out there and just let my work, show for itself. I was able to get double-digit sacks and stuff like that with, some more reps that I was able to play this year. But it definitely worked out in a good way, and I'm happy to be back now.
That did. It worked out in a good way, and he's happy to be back. I think Cowboys are happy to have him. He certainly slides right in there with the loss of DeMarcus Lawrence, so you don't have to worry about that. Maybe their best move of the offseason as far as I'm concerned.
Well, to this point, again, you look at he had a year in Washington, back in Dallas, no D-Law, but and I don't expect him to say anything else, but, Fowler did say he really does like the D-line room.
I love this defense line. The sky's the limit. Shout out to Osa. Just being with him and seeing how hard he worked to where he's at now. I'm definitely excited to be with him again. Love, playing with Micah. I love him. He's one of my favorite players in the league. And, Sam, I've always been a big fan of Sam. I'm a huge fan of him. He's super talented, and he's working his tail off to get back this year. And I think this is going to be his best year yet. So, and all the other guys, I was able to watch some of the guys you guys had last year. And, I'm super excited, Overshown. So, man, I'm definitely really excited to be back in this defense and to help get this defense to be one of the top defenses in the league and to help the team get some wins.
Going to be interesting to see how he fits in and how he has improved and what he'll do for that Cowboys defensive line. You got him. Look, and you kept telling me DeMarcus Lawrence was doing things, and I just never saw it. It just seemed like he was kind of the lost guy, and then he gets hurt last year. So I'm not sad to see DeMarcus Lawrence go, and I think Seattle is foolish for paying him the money that they're paying him, but that's Seattle's problem. Hopefully, we can see something when it comes to Fowler and have its effect be felt on the other side of the line with Micah Parsons.
Well, and again, I think, with the attention that Micah gets when DeMarcus Lawrence was healthy, a guy like Osa was able to eat, and he got paid because of that attention. Fowler will do the same, and we'll see if he can build off the great year he had in Washington and duplicate that in Dallas. Boy, there's some exciting things happening right now in the tournament. Oh, that 12-5 matchup never seems to disappoint, and we are seeing it play out again right now. Colorado State, a 12 seed, against Memphis, the 5 seed. Colorado State just got it tied up at 48. Then they got a couple more buckets. They now lead 52-48. The Rams on a hell of a run right now. And the Tigers, they needed the timeout just to relax a little bit and unclench.
Long way to go in that game. Anything? That's why I love it. I don't even. It's hard to, unless your team just gets way behind in the first half. It's just hard to even to say it. The first half we're down 6, 9, 10. Doesn't matter. It's all about the second half. And that's what you're going to see in this game. I think Memphis was ahead, by 6 going into the break. Now they're down 4. So a lot of things can change. A lot of things still can change. That's for sure.
Well, and I'll tell you, Mount St. Mary's, they are making it interesting against the top-seeded Duke Blue. I mean, they're on a run.
Are they really?
They have now cut the lead in half. It's 26-12. And Duke just scored again. Now 28-12. But at one point, when you look at that score, I mean, Mount St. Mary's went on a bit of a run. To get it to 24-12 was an accomplishment for them.
Well, at one time it was nothing, Jason. It was right there. They were tied.
That was the only time they felt like they had a chance.
Exactly.
Pregame warm-up line. Actually, they lost the pregame layup line.
I'm sure they did, right? It was, they're not going to even sniff Duke in this game. It's one of those games that's going to go away. Cooper Flag can rest a majority of the second half, and they're going to be just fine.
Let's talk some more football coming up with you here at Twin Peaks. Come hang out with us. 410 and 151, the Twin Peaks Westover Hills location. Great place to come watch tournament games and enjoy the scenic views, if you will. We talked about the Jamar Chase contract breakdown. Let's go into detail with that and explain why it means what it means here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Listen all this week to the Blitz to win tickets to see the Counting Crows at the SB. Saturday, August the 2nd, the Counting Crows, the complete suite store, comes to the SB. Tickets are on sale now. Go to thesb.com. I've been hanging around this town. Win tickets to the Counting Crows with special guests, the Gaslight Anthem from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm this weird part of my life. I really am.
Bill Burr, Drop Dead Years, a hilarious stand-up special, is now streaming on Hulu.
I am getting along with my wife better than I ever have. All you have to do is agree to something that you would never do. Farmer's market? Oh, boy, would I! My buddy dies. I show up to the funeral. Open casket. You told me he was dead. I believed you.
Bill Burr, Drop Dead Years, is now streaming on Hulu.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress. Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo,
Some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice.
Ain't nice.
Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, because this deal's for a limited time. $149
For tax prep that's $149 or less. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
The Easter Bunny? He's lost his dazzle. His tail? Flatter than a pancake.
Yeah, no more poof, see?
And those eggs? They're supposed to be spiffy, colorful, full of magic, but the trap, streaky, like they've been kissed by dust bunnies.
And when the cabbage wish shelling out for eggs, they ought to be the cat's pajamas. But nope, everything's on the fritz, and we know why.
Hard water.
Nasty build-up, filmy gunk. It's giving the whole shebang the heebie-jeebies.
It needs a Connecticut. Their non-electric, high-efficiency water softness make water the bee's knees. Your skin, smoother than a gangster's alibi. And eggs?
Gleaming like gold in a G-Man's pocket.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off for trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE. That's 210-656-PURE.
It's a limited time, so hop to it, see?
License number 38961.
Imagine owning waterfront property on the Texas coast. Check out the grand opening of Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay. Secure your spot to see 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access from $49.9. That's right, just $49.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, a pool and cabana, boat launch and slips, fishing pier, dog park, storage, and more. It all happens Saturday, March 29th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at just $49.9. Call now to secure your private tour Saturday, March 29th. 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Appointments are limited, so call now and be sure to ask for event day specials and our helicopter tours. Call now, 210-853-0389. Get your piece of this coastal paradise. 210-853-0389.
The Gomez Law Firm is one of the most trusted names in personal injury law across the state of Texas. We have Jose here with the Gomez Law Firm to share what makes working with your firm different than others in the area.
You know, we pride ourselves as being an open line of communications. We don't have an automated service. You're not going to ever dial our phone number and get some robot on the other line. You're always going to get a person 24/7. Our principal office is here in San Antonio. Mr. Gomez was born and raised here, practicing law here in San Antonio in his community for 50 years. There are not many attorneys that can say that.
Thank you to the Gomez Law Firm for continuing to fight for our community. The Gomez Law Firm is San Antonio.
If you've been injured, if you've been involved in an accident, you've been involved in a car wreck, call the Gomez Law Firm.
Visit joegomezlaw.com. That's joegomezlaw.com for one of the most trusted names in personal injury.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Get ready to play in the street. Ciclovia returns to the Broadway route on Sunday, March 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This YMCA of Greater San Antonio community fitness event takes over the streets for cycling, walking, and safe, healthy fun. Visit ciclovia.org for more details.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. And it's all about having a great time. Grab your buddies and ladies too. Hit the course for a fun, laid-back day of golf, laughs, and a little friendly competition at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, April 14th. It's just $120 a player or $400 for a foursome. A solid deal for a day of good times with your crew. The Spring Golf Classic benefits the Pan American Golf Association. But don't worry, this isn't some high-stakes tournament. It's all about kicking back, having fun, and making memories. Presented by Fly by England and sponsored by Ancira.com and PPL Motorhomes. After you've crushed it on the course, join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Cold drinks, great food, and good times with all of your buddies. So grab your spot, grab your crew, and tee off for a day of unforgettable fun. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube, but you can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix out at Twin Peaks, 410 and 151, the Westover Hills location.
You ever see so much cold beer just walk by us as
Yes.
it's doing today?
Yes.
I mean, every time I see this young lady walk by, she's carrying 2 or 3 of those big, tall, cold beers, which look like they just would taste fantastic.
I know they taste fantastic, and I'm not sure if you're looking at the beers or the outfits.
No, I'm looking at the beers.
I mean, because we're all over trust for this.
Yeah, well, it's,
except them.
Some of us are.
Yeah.
And then some of them aren't. But no, everybody's enjoying a nice Friday afternoon. Only thing missing is you. If you're not here, you need to get here.
Come hang out with us. You can register to win Papa Roach tickets. Go see Edwin. They somehow let Edwin out of the building.
How about that?
Yeah. And Edwin, he's got a hard job today because he's right over there by the front door. And the lovely ladies that greet you are right there. And one of them has on her right cheek cherries tattooed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I haven't noticed that, Mix. Wow, you really have been studying.
I mean, awareness is important. You understand that.
Cherries, huh?
If you're watching on YouTube, and because our backdrop isn't up behind us today, it's to our right because Ryan Eagle needed some sort of shade because we're up by one of the windows out here on the patio, even though it's enclosed, and the sun was coming in, and Ryan Eagle was. That was probably the most diva thing I've seen you do since you've joined us.
How is that diva? I was saving my own life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these working conditions. Sometimes when you see like TV guys out doing stuff, they've got somebody holding up reflectors and umbrellas for them.
It's miserable.
Ryan Eagle doesn't have Greg Shelton. Well, Greg wasn't going to hold up an umbrella for 4 hours of the show to protect Ryan Eagle from getting sunburn on one side of his face. So we moved the backdrop and made it a side drop, which actually opened up, at least over my shoulder, the scenic views.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, you never know what's going to walk by, whether they're coming or going. Actually, I think it does work to the audience's advantage today.
Dude, I couldn't do it. I'd been 10 shades of red by the time the show was over today.
Yes, that would have been.
I guarantee you. It was already sneaking by. We're at a long table.
Yeah.
And it was already just about there. And I said, man, this is going to be miserable.
I'm not doing this. No,
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not doing
I asked you to trade places with me. You
I
didn't
said,
do it.
no, dude, I wasn't going to sit there. Are you kidding?
So then the so-called grumpy ass over here, Greg Shelton, I knew he's a softie. He's got a giant heart.
He does.
He's just like the Grinch.
Well,
says, we can move this over there. And I said, Greg, I love you.
Is that how it happened?
Well, I don't think it's how that happened.
Or did you just start moving it and say, Greg, grab that in. We're putting it over here.
No. It was all Greg's idea.
Was that Greg's idea?
He just said, we got to hurry like hell. We were like 3 minutes out from the start of the show.
Yep.
So we got to do it in a hurry.
Do it now.
So we did.
It got done.
And I'm very grateful for that.
And if you look very carefully, Greg put one station banner behind us. I mean, yeah, just so he could, in case the boss is like, well, where's the, because, bosses are going to boss, so he can't say he put something up there.
I would have to have a chat with the boss today if that was the case, because
we all got Shelton's back on.
Yeah, I certainly do. Yeah. So
difficult working conditions.
Yes. Extremely difficult.
The job is hard enough.
Yes.
Work.
You have no idea. So what do you think the odds are Edwin gets a phone number before he leaves here?
I would take the under.
I will too.
Yeah. I'd take the under. What was it, a half?
You guys have no confidence in Edwin. I mean, because there was that time we tried that with Greg Shelton, and he actually scored a number.
Well, that's true. He did. Well, I hope Edwin surprises us. That would be great. It would be good for him. So we'll see if he does or not. But he's got his opportunity. That's for sure. He's in a prime location.
He really is. He really is. we're in a prime location to watch a lot of these games, and right now we're watching Colorado State pull away from Memphis 59-52.
I'm not liking that.
20 to play. You're not liking it. John over here is bragging that he's got Colorado State.
Oh, man. Well, you're going to lose, John. How about that?
Yeah.
It'll be a rally.
Yeah, we'll see.
I got Memphis. And I may or may not have a few bucks on them as well.
Yeah. So
it's possible.
Yeah. There's so much NFL news today that's kind of interesting. Now, you think about the vast number of plays in a game, all the NFL games that there are. But there were 500 fewer plays from scrimmage in 2024 than in 2023. I find that interesting. Although I guess not surprising because you had more teams last year commit to running the football, which shortens games. I know they're going to say some of the different rule changes have sped things up, and that leads to fewer plays. But 500 plays over the course of an NFL season really isn't that many.
Well, it's not. I mean, we consider how many plays are run in the course of a season. That is a lot. But I think you're right. I think it is more about the running game, perhaps, and just taking more time off the clock than if you're throwing a bunch of passes. So, it's interesting. And when I saw that headline, Jason, I'm like, oh, wow, this is interesting. And then you read the article, and it's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
It's really not that big of a deal because it sounded like just from the headline that it was wow, what's going on?
500 is a big number.
Well, sure.
Until you look at the total number of plays that were run, and it's really a small percentage. Little Jordan Humphrey, he signs with the New York Giants, and the Houston Texans completely revamping their offensive line. They sign offensive tackle Trent Brown today, a 1-year, $3 million deal. 9 NFL years. Here's the one thing. I mean, he's an older veteran guy. He's as close to Laramie Tunsil when you look at PFF grades as they've been able to get. And when they're trying to redo the offensive line, they, at this point, haven't added anybody near as good as Laramie Tunsil. Although Brown, aging, is as close to getting there. If you take away the penalties, who knows? But a whole new offensive line coming to Houston.
Well, and I respect that. I mean, the offensive line last year was just god-awful. I mean, it was terrible. So, I mean, Caserio and D'Amico Ryan said, we got to do something about it. And they did. They pretty much got rid of everybody and have started over. So we'll see if this offensive line is any better than the one they had before, but certainly can't be worse, can it? I mean, that offensive line was horrible. Still, though, the Texans managed to find their way into the playoffs, and you got to give them a lot of credit for that. You got to give D'Amico Ryans a lot of credit for that, and the players, C.J. Stroud, everyone concerned because that offensive line was just awful.
Yeah, awful. Your Tennessee Titans are getting a new stadium.
Yeah.
Generally, when you get a new stadium, you get a Super Bowl.
That's what they want.
And Nashville wants a Super Bowl. The governor of Tennessee has asked for the 2029 Super Bowl. Now, right now, we know that next year is in San Francisco. The following year is in Los Angeles. And then Atlanta in 2028. So 2029 up for bid. Now, it might end up in Nashville. But it also could end up in North Texas, up there in Arlington.
It could.
Yeah, because remember, is that the year that Texas was in line for the college football playoff, and they pulled out of that. Well, why would they pull out of that unless they were going to get a Super Bowl? So it might be 2030. If Cleveland, when they get their new deal, they could actually host Super Bowl because it'll be indoors. Buffalo, those people will never get the Super Bowl because they're not putting a roof on their new stadium.
No, and they're not going to play in minus 20 degrees for the Super Bowl. So I just find that odd. I mean, I really do. In this day and time, that the Buffalo Bills, a multi-billion-dollar stadium they're going to build, and they're not going to put a roof on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that just, to me, is just dumb.
Well, I
get it.
They want that home field advantage. They like playing in the snow. I mean, think about all the money that make, was it $20, $25 a day to help go shovel the stadium, right?
Sure.
I mean.
Okay, here's my point on all of that. All right, I don't care if you live in Buffalo or if you live in Miami. Cold is cold. I don't give a damn. And don't tell me, well, we're used to it. No, you're not.
They are.
Minus 20 degrees. There's nobody used to that. Nobody.
Well, at least they have the proper gear and know how to dress for it, which...
How do you dress from negative 20?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I spent over $400 on a coat from REI the year the Super Bowl was in Minnesota. And on the one day when the wind chill was like minus 48 and my glasses were freezing inside the car and the inside of the windshield was freezing, I was miserable, even though I had bought everything I felt like I needed. But the people that lived there were like, yes, we're used to it. I don't get it.
There's no way they're used to it. I think they're lying to you. They're just flat out lying to you.
You know, they could move. They choose to live there.
Yeah, well, yeah, they do. And props to them. I mean, if that's what you want to do. Now, the players have to go play. They don't have a choice. But then you got a full stadium out there when it's that cold.
All those people made a choice, too. They could have stayed home.
They could have. But
then you get that drunk shirtless guy. Always a drunk shirtless guy in weather like that. I don't get it. I don't get it. Interesting article today on Pro Football Talk about Jamar Chase and his actual contract. Now that, the details are out, everything's been broken down. When you go through it, it's a big contract, but is technically not the highest paid non-quarterback ever at $40 million a year. And as written at Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio's article, the devil inside the details. And when you go through the details with all the terms, and they're breaking everything down, all the little bonuses, the off-season workout guarantees, all of it's there. And until you get down to towards the end, there's the final year is a team option. That's in 2029. Team held option at $44.8 million. As Florio writes, it's phony baloney back-end numbers aimed at pumping up the new money APY. So if you drop 29 from the equation, it's really just 5-year, $182 million deal, 4 years in new money of $162 million. And so his average per year with new money is only 38.7, which means he is not the highest paid non-quarterback, because those non-guaranteed team option years at the end rarely actually get kicked in and picked up.
Yeah, but if you're an agent, I'm doing that too. I'm doing the whole thing because I'm assuming it's my guy, Jamar Chase. Surely they're going to pick that up. It's not going to be a problem. I mean, if you're an agent, I don't blame them for doing that. I mean, what are you going to do? Come out and say, well, here's what we really did, and here's this, and here's that. The total of the contract is what it is, even though that last year is a team option. It's still a contract.
Well, if it's picked up.
Well, sure, but as it stands right now, that's the contract.
I mean, but with non-guaranteed money and an option year or player option, sure, he's going to opt in, especially, you look at what his production level is going to be like. Now, the way the numbers are escalating, that might be undervalued at the time, but if he's playing well, he's going to want a new deal before he goes and plays on that final year. Sure. And if he's not playing well, the team's going to let him go. So it is kind of one of those interesting things. So, as Florio's wording is right, the devil's in the details. If you're just looking at guarantees, and do you really count that? Because it is less likely that he will play that year under those terms.
I just think too, and maybe that means something to, I don't know, Micah Parsons or somebody else. I don't know. To the average fan, guy's making a poop ton of money.
Poop ton, huh?
Poop ton of money.
Poop ton.
And so, I mean, that's all we see. So it's a great article by Florio. I'll give him that. And it's kind of cool to see those inside the number details. But okay.
And what it really does show is how complicated it is and all the different line items that have to get negotiated that most of us have no idea about. And I'm sure that's probably part of the big delay in Micah Parsons. Workout bonuses, how does that factor in? And if you're from the team side, you're trying to figure out the different ways things get applied to the salary cap and what salary cap. So it is complicated, but it really shouldn't be that hard if you've done it before. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard, but it is. It takes a genius to figure this stuff out. I don't know how they do it. Props to them for doing it. Agents have to be on the ball. They got to have finance people all over the place. Jerry and team owners and general managers have to do the same thing. It's complicated as hell.
66-58. Colorado State continues to lead at Memphis. 4:50 to play in that one. Another 12-5 upset in the making.
Could be. I think Memphis will rally, though. We still got just under 5 minutes.
We will see how it plays out. You can watch it with us here at Twin Peaks 410 and 151. Stephen A. Smith sucking up on live television this morning.
What the hell?
Dude, we'll talk about it coming up. Plus, Wade Phillips at 3:15 here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line, touchdown Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
The Basketball Madness headquarters is always at Twin Peaks, and the Blitz will be live today from the Westover Hills location to cover all the action.
Catch all the madness and the best seats in the house with the lovely ladies of Twin Peaks. Happy hour food and drink specials, along with the frosty 29-degree drafts.
And it's Bourbon and Brews Friday, which means lingerie costume party paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings, and giveaways.
So how is your bracket holding up? Get to Twin Peaks Westover Hills. We're getting started at 2.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters in auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help.
Little hope over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sportsbook, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight. They'll take on the Philadelphia 76ers inside the Frost Bank Center. Tip-off there is set for 7 o'clock. Houston Texans have signed another offensive lineman. Trent Brown is his name. Signs a 1-year, $3 million deal. And the Cowboys, well, Brandon Cooks won't be there this season. He's going to be in New Orleans. Signs with the Saints, 2 years, $13 million.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagle, I'm Jason Minix. Friday afternoon, hanging out at Twin Peaks 410 and 151 location, watching the tournament, watching Joe watch a game and then look at his phone like it's going to make any difference. Now that Colorado State is up on Memphis by 10, 71-61.
It's early.
Have they taken that money yet?
Not yet. No. Now Memphis can't hit a shot. They're in trouble. So, yeah, that's going to be too bad. It's going to be a loss for me today.
A loss for a lot of people. Less than 1% of all brackets are still perfect.
Well,
after yesterday.
And then there again, it's that 12-5 matchup, man. That is the one that is ripe for upset every single year. And here we go. We had one yesterday. Going to have another one here today.
Again, you look at it and you sit there and you go, what are you going to do? I mean, everybody always picks a 12-5 upset.
Absolutely.
And you got to look for one.
There have been 2 now in this tournament.
There have been 2. And I'm 2 minutes and 29 seconds away from getting that one correct.
Yep. Memphis is in deep doo-doo, that's for sure. So,
because one of us had Colorado State.
You did?
Looking at my bracket,
dude.
Looking at my bracket right there.
I don't have to look at it. You didn't know, did you?
I
sitting here, he didn't even know. He had to go look at his bracket. Who do I have here?
Well, I knew.
I don't have Memphis.
I knew I had a couple. I was thinking, but also I didn't want to say anything while Colorado State was losing. Now that I'm comfortable, they won't blow a 10-point lead in 229. I don't mind sharing that. So, yeah, I'll roll with that. See, like John was bragging early, and I thought, dude, it's too early to brag.
It's way too early to brag then. But, boy, they have taken over here in the second half. That's for sure. Colorado State, they were down 6 at the break. But that's exactly what I'm talking about with this tournament. This tournament is so cool because that first half score typically means nothing unless you're Duke and you're up 54-28 at halftime.
Yeah, they just put a final on that one. Do they have to play the second half? Just kind of roll with it. Right now, let's roll with the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
I don't know, with tournament on, if anybody was actually watching the Laker game last night. Lakers in the Bucks. Everybody, I don't know. I mean, not a lot of people played in that game, so Bronny got a lot of run. And Bronny played well last night. Bronny James scored 17 points, a career high. Looked good, too, with the highlights that I saw. Looked like he was an NBA player last night.
Sure.
He looked the part.
Looked the part.
Had a solid game last night. And
Bronny
that's
has
what needs
earned
to be said about it. He had a solid game last night. Then this morning on First Take, this was Stephen A. Smith.
This is the big picture here that I want to bring up. I might have been wrong. Are you listening, LeBron James? Are you listening, James family? Are you listening, Rich Paul? Are you listening, all of you people? Because here's my position. My position was all along, Bronny James needed to be in the G League. Put him in the G League, let him be in the G League his first year. And then after that, let him come on, because I've always believed that this kid has the potential, once I watched him, to be in the NBA. But what I saw last night made me say to myself, wait a minute. He keeps showing up and playing like that. JJ Redick and his staff obviously doing an exceptional job coaching him. The G Leaguers obviously doing a good job of preparing him. Him sitting on the bench, learning, watching the Lakers players, being in practice with them sometimes. Evidently, that seems to be working for him. And if that kind of stuff continues, then indeed he'll be in the league as a bona fide player sooner than later. One game does that make that determination. You need to do more than that. But I wanted to make sure I emphasize that point. And the reason why I wanted to make sure I emphasize that point, Molly, is because when I was approached by Pops, at courtside and all of this other stuff, I will contend till the cows come home. I was never disrespecting Bronny James. I was the one that didn't watch him in high school because I didn't want to judge him like I would have had I gone to his game. I didn't go to his college games at USC because he had the heart condition. I waited and waited and waited until he got to the pro level because I wanted to give the kid a chance, because obviously being LeBron James' son puts him in a very precarious position. So this notion that I was disrespecting or his son, it's a lie. It is false. We have numerous tapes that show I did not do that, but I did believe that he belonged in the G League to get himself honed for the NBA level. What may have been wrong about that is that evidently being around JJ Redick and that staff and being around Pops and the rest of the Los Angeles Lakers, combined with the G League going back and forth, may be doing wonders for him sooner than we anticipated.
All right, Stephen A. Now remove your head from LeBron's butt, because that's exactly where it is. Well, what the hell was that? I just lost a ton of respect for that man. I mean, it must have been LeBron must have kind of said, if you say anything else about my son, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And obviously Stephen A's pooping in his.
It'd be yes if you're. He says he's got tons of tapes. I've never heard Stephen A say he needs to go to the G League for a year, and I thought he'd be a good NBA player eventually.
He never said that.
All I heard this morning watching that, when I was watching First Take, was LeBron completely kissing up to LeBron James.
Without a doubt.
Because he wants to stay in the good graces of that circle.
Well, look.
There's a soundbite for that.
You have a take, and you stick with it. It was one game that nobody else was playing for the Lakers. Nobody. Now, I will give them that, hey, Milwaukee was playing their guys. But it's one game. Let's see how he does on a consistent basis. Now all of a sudden he scores 17 points, and now Bronny is he's LeBron Jr.
Bronny has earned it.
It's ridiculous. And Stephen A, just a ton of respect lost.
I have no problem with somebody changing their opinion when they've been proven wrong. But one game doesn't prove you wrong. But for you to do that shortly after you got confronted courtside, you can't. Yeah, I mean,
unbelievable.
It really is
unbelievable. What happened to your stones?
Yeah,
they obviously LeBron cut them off.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That Paul Skeens rookie card, this was a little kid out in Los Angeles actually pulled this one-of-one rookie card. Could have had a date night with Libby Dunn, season tickets for the Pirates behind home plate for 30 years. He sold it at auction, $1.11 million. Now, I don't know if that prize pack would have equaled $1 million over the course of 30 years.
I think it probably would have.
That kid got $1 million, though.
And now he's got $1 million in his hand right now, and he's ready to go. The kid did the right thing. I know they wanted it back, but sweeten the deal. Why don't you tell the kid, hey, we'll give you $1 million for that card right now?
Well, are you kidding? Paul Skeens won't make $1 million this year from his Pirate salary.
Well, the Pirates should have paid it.
Well, the fact that it went for $1 million, I was thinking it would go for a lot more. Although I'm surprised anybody would pay $1 million for a small piece of cardboard. But then again, it is a one-of-one piece of cardboard.
Well, I'm happy for the kid. You know what? I'm happy for the kid. Good for him.
I think I'd have rather had as an 11-year-old boy gone spend a couple hours with Libby Dunn.
Well, that would have been nice, but,
His mom said no. His mom wanted $1 million.
I mean, I was going to sit on her lap or do something like that. I mean,
dude.
I mean, because if you're just in there staring at her with, how old's the kid?
11.
11.
Maybe he'd have realized he was a man that day.
Well, maybe he might have
exactly.
Once he got home in his own bed.
Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is heading to Vegas, and you're coming with us. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas for Mega March 27th through the 30th. Catch baseball's opening day and all the hoops action at the world's largest sports book. Then take the party to Stadium Swim with 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. Book now at CircaLasVegas.com with promo code BLITZ and join us at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, sun, spirits, and a sure bet for an unforgettable time.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
George gets justice. Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Kinetico Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Kinetico is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com.
The Aggies play here. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix. Live out at Twin Peaks, 410 and 151. Great place to come watch a lot of the basketball games. And we just had another upset go final, 12-5 matchup. Colorado State knocks off Memphis.
Wow. Just killed me. Killed me.
Killed ya.
Killed me.
Killed ya.
Done. Well, not really.
We'll talk more basketball coming up, though, because we love talking football. It's always football season. And next week, the San Antonio Brahmas kick off the UFL season. Joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line, Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips. Coach, normally we do this on a Wednesday, but it's Friday. How's your week been?
Good so far. Yeah, we just finished practice, so looking forward to watching the tape and getting ready for a ball game.
Well, and that's coming up pretty quick, but I know you haven't had your team all that long, Coach, but you're a wily veteran. I mean, how do they look?
Yeah, I'm pretty wily, all right. Yeah, no, we look. Yeah, I think we look good. I mean, we accomplished a lot of things in training camp. We're looking forward to this first game against Arlington.
Well, and you think about, where you are now, a bit of a shorter training camp. You had to do your roster cut downs this week, getting down to 50. In a compressed time, how much more challenging is that?
Well, that's what you do. I mean, that's what coaching is. You have to be adjustable. And we've had enough time to evaluate the people and cut down. I think we've got the right people, and we have more. I know we have more talent than we had last year. I don't know if we'll get any better coaching, but we got more talent.
Well, that's what it looks like. You go up and down the roster just to taking a look at it. I mean, there's some names that I certainly recognize. I know Jason does as well. You're right, Coach. I think this team is talented from top to bottom.
Yeah, I do too. We obviously had a good year last year, but we're looking for a great year this year.
And looking for a great year starts with who's going to be QB1. Are you ready to let us know who's going to be the quarterback of the San Antonio Brahmas?
Yes, Kellen Mond will be our starter. He had a great camp. Obviously, really talented, and he gives us a second dimension. He can, all of them can throw the ball well, but he can run it with us. So that gives us that extra plus.
Coach, when you go into camp like that, even though it is a limited time, is there a true quarterback competition, or do you have that kind of in your mind already, and it's his job to lose, if that's the right phrase?
No, that's what football is, competitive with competition. And so, and the other guys have done well also. But like I said, he gives you that extra dimension, that being able to run with football, call running plays with the quarterback, which, you see it in the NFL now. You see it a lot in college, but you see it in the NFL now that, those quarterbacks who can run with it can make a difference.
With your time with Kellen Mond, and obviously played his high school ball in San Antonio over at Reagan before he went to the IMG Academy, playing at Texas A&M. He's so familiar with the fans in San Antonio. And a couple of stops in the NFL. What is different about Kellen than maybe you thought now that you've gotten to work with him and getting to know him a little bit better?
He's a tremendous worker. I'll say that for him. I just left practice, but he was still out there. Had 2 receivers out there throwing the ball after practice. All the really good players I've been around, they work extra, and that's what he does.
Coach, when you look at a guy like Kellen Mond, obviously had some NFL experience or has some, and some of the other guys on your roster that have been to the NFL and have played there, can you tell a difference in the way they practice, the way they just conduct themselves overall?
Yeah, I think they get it. They know what it takes to be on the NFL roster, or at least what the competition is like. They see that firsthand. I think that helps them overall to get where they want to be.
Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, joining us here on the Blitz. Kellen Mond, QB1. Talk about some of the other position battles for wide receiver and running back, and with a running quarterback, how different you expect the offense to look this year.
Well, we were one of the top rushing teams last year in the league, so we expect to do that again. But I think he'll obviously having a quarterback that can make some yards. We had Michael Vick and when I was in Atlanta, and we rushed for our running backs rushed for good yardage, but he had 1,000 yards, and that makes you a heck of a rushing team. So that's what it looks like with a guy that can run the football. So we're excited about that.
Coach, when you look at your team and coming into this year, I know you've got some of the same players back and sprinkled in with some new guys. Is everything kind of the way that it was last year? Your game plans, your just the way you're going to conduct yourself as the head coach?
Yeah, I haven't changed. So, but having basically the same staff is also a real plus. Yeah, we have some guys we had last year, and they give us that leadership because they've been through it. But we have the same coaches too, and I think that bodes well for our team overall. That we have a lot of continuity. Guys know where they're supposed to be and when, and kind of what defense we want to play, what kind of offense we want to play, and special teams.
Well, and Coach, I know, we're asking about quarterback and receivers, running backs. You're a defensive genius. And last year, the Brahmas were so damn good defensively. And it looks like, at least with names that everybody's going to remember, like a guy like a Greedy Williams out of LSU, you brought those kind of big name players in. How good is this defense going to be? Because I know you. That's where you're going to hang your hat.
Well, yeah, I mean, we want to be good in every area, obviously. And Will Reed does a great job as our defensive coordinator. He put together that group, and he makes all the calls during the game, so I have to give a lot of credit to him. But, yeah, we led the league. We led the whole UFL in 9 out of the 10 categories on defense last year. So we expect to be good on defense.
Yeah, no doubt. I certainly don't have any doubt about that, Coach, with your resume, that's for sure. Now, we've been talking about a lot of players, Coach. We've been talking about you, obviously, and all of you guys are going out to an event tomorrow to meet some of the fans. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have several guys that are going to be there tomorrow in San Antonio. We'll meet with our fans and tell them we're excited about where we are. Hope they'll support us.
Absolutely. In the event tomorrow down at the Pearl from 5 to 7, Wade Phillips is going to be there. Kellen Mond is going to be there. Devontae Beckett, Kavion Patton, I believe Greg Ward, who has been a little under the weather, but I think Greg Ward is going to make it. And for you guys to actually get to come do something in San Antonio, I think I know you well enough, Coach. You're excited to get to town.
You bet. I love San Antonio. I love the people there, and we look forward to playing and doing a great job for representing our city.
Absolutely. And one of the things, I know there's a lot of swag that fans can get tomorrow at this event, some clear bags. And I don't know, Coach, have you seen the Fiesta medal yet that they have made this year that has a dancing Wade Phillips on it? I've only seen photos of it. I haven't actually seen it in person, but did you put the stamp of approval on the Fiesta medal?
They're really going to do that. It's pretty cool. It's funny to see me on there, but it's pretty cool.
Well, and I believe it's going to dance at the bottom because you did that dance when you were here. So they turned that into a Fiesta medal, which is legendary status. Some coaches aspire to get a statue in front of the stadium. I think you got a higher calling there, getting your own dancing Fiesta medal.
I'm all for that. That's for sure. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and one of the other big announcements with the season starting next week. I mean, I know everybody's asking about the quarterback, but the number of people that asked about Wednesdays with Wade, you've actually agreed to come on with us every Wednesday again, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, I can't believe I did that, but I'm going to.
Well, we're pretty happy about it, Coach. But I thought maybe you were smarter than that. But I'm glad you're not.
Me too.
All right, so what's a bigger thrill for you? Well, Stephen Jones air quotes with that. Doing Wednesdays with Wade on the Blitz or those in-game interviews they make you do as a part of the UFL?
Well, I love the Blitz, that's for sure. And I can't say too much for some of the questions they ask you during the game, but that's TV.
That's TV. I know those TV people, man. They're a little off, Coach. That's for sure. We're glad you're coming back on, and I tell you what, I'm excited. I'm excited about the season and ready to get this thing going. And I would assume you are as well, right? I mean, this time you still got you got about a week or so left before the season kicks off. I mean, do you get anxious or you just handle it in stride?
I get anxious. I mean, it's exciting to start the season. It's okay to have training camp, and I'm a lot like the players. It's okay to practice. The most fun thing is playing the game, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, Coach, next Wednesday we'll actually get into more specific details about that opener on the road against Arlington next Saturday. In the meantime, I know you've wrapped up camp. You said you got film to watch, although it is March Madness. Are you watching any basketball in between watching practice film?
Yeah. I watch my Cougars. I watch U of H. So.
Yeah, they didn't have any.
I go all the way this year.
Yeah, they had no trouble yesterday at all. That's for sure. They look good.
Yeah, well, of course, we don't know who Evansville is. But
Very true. Their goal is to be able to play in the home of the San Antonio Brahmas.
Exactly right.
In early April here in San Antonio, which is one of the reasons why you guys start with like a 50-game road trip, or at least it feels that way, a while before that home opener, but the regular season opener on the road next Saturday. Coach, I know you've got a busy day ahead of you. Appreciate you jumping on with us today to announce Wednesdays with Wade. And, you got a starting quarterback named Kellen Mond. We'll talk to you on Wednesday, Coach. Enjoy your weekend.
You bet. I look forward to it. You guys are great.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. And don't forget, they've got their season kickoff event tomorrow starting at 5 down at the Pearl there in the plaza area. All kinds of things. Coach is going to be in town, a bunch of players, including Kellen Mond. They're coming in for this. Their swag. You can get your tickets, and I don't know what all you have to do to get the Fiesta medal, but I know if you buy some tickets, they've got different packages. You'll get that. But that's going to be, I think, one of the more popular Fiesta medals this year.
I don't think there's any question about it with Wade dancing on there. By the way, the event's free.
Yes.
And it's open to the public, so there's no cost to it. You just go down to the Pearl between 5 and 7 o'clock tomorrow night. They're going to be celebrating the upcoming football season in the UFL.
Yeah, they'll have lots of giveaways in the first 500. They are going to get a Brahmas branded clear bag. And, you go to a stadium, you have to have a clear bag. You can get one that's Brahmas branded if one of the first 500 down at the Pearl tomorrow night. We'll talk more basketball coming up, talk about the tournament. What's up with Rodney Terry on the 40 acres? He had an interesting tweet this morning. More coming up here on the Blitz, live out at Twin Peaks, 410 and 151 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, the road to San Antonio continues. We'll talk about who's still headed our way.
The 16 might be sweet, but is Micah still salty? When's he going to get his money? We'll talk about that. Party starts at 6. Don't be late.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream.
Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, or big box store.
The most exciting weekend in college basketball starts here. Don't miss the 2025 State Farm College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Championships. Witness the nation's top dunkers and sharpshooters battle it out live in person. One epic night of unbelievable skill and electrifying energy. Thursday, April 3rd at the Frost Bank Center. Tickets are going fast. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. See you April 3rd for the State Farm College Slam Dunk and Three-Point Championships. The most exciting weekend in college basketball starts here. One night, pure action. Don't miss it.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint.
Let's trade lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Something amazing is happening at work. Innovative tools are helping people do better work. That's because CDW configuration specialists are multiplying productivity with Microsoft Windows 11 Pro Surface devices. Built-in security, flexibility, and simplified management streamline tasks so your team can get more done. Microsoft and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/surface.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Imagine waking up in the morning to ocean views on Matagorda Bay. I know that you can. Minutes from world-class fishing. Check out the grand opening of Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point. Don't miss this one-day event, Saturday, March 29th, where you can get 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access for just $49.9. That is correct, just $49.9. John Lopez here, and I host the Texas Saltwater Fishing Podcast, Bite Me. If you love the Texas coast like I do, you're going to love this gated community. With a resort-style pool and cabana, boat slips and launch, boat and RV storage, paved roads, on and on it goes, underground utilities, and so much more. It all happens Saturday, March 29th. So call for your private tour, 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Ask about the grand opening day specials and the helicopter tours. Call now, 210 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Get your piece of coastal paradise.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Rock's Discount Vitamins thanks God in San Antonio for all the support. The time is here, San Antonio. Mark your calendars. 1 day, 2 locations, Saturday, March 22nd. Stop by Rock's Discount Vitamins for the Spring Break Bash. Special guest C.T. Fletcher will be at the Culebra location from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then head to the Petranco location from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Plus, get 20% off the entire store all day. That's Saturday, March 22nd. Rock's Spring Break Bash. Follow Rock's on Instagram at Rock's Discount or call 210-342-ROCK.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account and ported on $60 plan. First service charge taxed with sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Welcome to the Hangar, Petranco, your go-to spot for mouthwatering wings, ice-cold cocktails, and an unforgettable atmosphere. Come taste some of the best wings in town, served by their friendly staff with even friendlier cocktails. Only at Hangar Petranco, where great food, drinks, and friends come together.
Bill turned around and said, him too.
Yeah, sure. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Jason Minix along with Bill Reinagel, Joe Taylor, whoever.
I'll answer that thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as the paycheck cashes, that's all that matters.
The guy was just telling you he was somewhere and yelling at Bill Taylor, he was yelling Joe Reinagel, and Bill got pissy.
Well, I don't think he got pissy. Maybe he did. Who knows? Because, it's Bill Taylor.
There was sign language was involved.
No, so he says it was the last Final Four here. And he said he was yelling down, hey, Joe Reinagel. And I assume it was Bill Taylor, was about to do an interview with somebody. He looked up and said, I'm the other guy.
I'm the other guy.
So
it's Vinny Vincetta, ladies and gentlemen.
Vinny Vincetta.
That's pretty funny. The tournament going. Come hang out with us, and you could get Bill Taylor stories from one of those guys over there.
Absolutely.
Lots going on. Lots with the games here at Twin Peaks, 410 and 151. Duke, no problem with Mount St. Mary's. A little surprised they've actually given up 41. It's now 71-41. They're only up 30 with 11 and a half to play.
Oh, only 30. I bet you they're not covering the spread at this point in time.
Now, don't be confused because Mount St. Mary's is losing to Duke. Just regular St. Mary's, St. Mary's with no Mount. They are right now losing to Vanderbilt 29-22.
How about that?
And Ole Miss leading North Carolina 30-19.
I like that one because North Carolina is just like Texas. They don't belong.
Well, I mean, the reality is, I mean, do they belong? Do they not? When they expanded out, that's where it is. But, North Carolina dominated in their game to get in. Texas, they choked away a colossal meltdown. A meltdown that had Texas fans calling for Rodney Terry's job before the final buzzer ended. Because you can't lose in the tournament like that. And I know a lot of it is the arrogance of Texas, and Texas feels like they should have a Final Four caliber team year in and year out. As we were talking about yesterday with Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle, there's 20, 30 schools that probably feel the same. But at the same time, if you're Texas, you should feel that. If you're not getting those results and you have losses like that with a coach you're unsure of, you make the change. That's fan talk. Chris Del Conte, it was reported right after that game by Chip Brown that Rodney Terry would be fired. As we sit here at 3:39 on Friday, by all accounts, Rodney Terry still has his job with the 40 acres. The interesting thing is he tweeted this morning at 9:01. Rodney Terry puts out a tweet that says, "Thank you, Longhorn Nation, for your consistent support. And a special thanks to all our players, coaches, and staff for your commitment and continuing to stay the course all season. Love you guys. Hashtag hook 'em." And then he also had with that tweet a video from him talking to the team inside the locker room.
Just stay the course. You always stay the course. And you don't remember anything, the 3 things I told you all year long. Okay? No, you never disappoint anybody. And the 3 people you never want to disappoint are who are. You never want to disappoint God. You always have an incredible relationship in life, okay, with God. You're never going to get anywhere without faith. Okay, so you have to have an incredible relationship, okay, with God. Okay? What's the second one? Family, man. You never want to disappoint your family. Never. You do whatever you can to not disappoint your loved ones and your family, right? So your relationship with God, okay, your family. You're not disappointing anybody. What's your third one? You got to love yourself, man. Love yourself. No matter what people say about you, they can't hurt you. No weapon formed against you. Nobody can hurt you. You control your own destiny in life. And again, it's not always going to go the way you want it to go. Okay, and when it doesn't, you get up off the mat and you keep on working, man.
Yeah, I love that speech. That was a great speech.
It was.
It was a great speech. Very nice, man. I'm ready to go play now. But when you look at the tweet that you read before we heard that soundbite, Jason, it sounds like a goodbye letter.
Well, I mean, you take the tweet along with the video because it was all part of it. It almost felt like he knew. Now, the idea that Rodney Terry is owed $5.4 million for the remaining 3 years of his contract. That's not much for Texas. Now, that's also how much does Chris Del Conte want to invest in basketball? Because if he is going after a splash hire, as was reported by Chip Brown, any of these big-name guys, they're going to cost a lot more money than Rodney Terry.
True.
And so where is basketball on the priority list for Texas athletics? Now, I think all of us and a lot of us will sit here and say, $5 million for Texas to buy out a coach, that's not even a problem. And whatever it's going to take to get a new coach in, that the fans and more importantly, the president and the athletic director feel like can get Texas where they needs to go if they believe Rodney Terry isn't that guy. He was the right guy in the moment because they weren't looking for a coach and Rodney Terry got the job. They had to make a change because of Chris Beard and his legal issues. That didn't keep Chris Beard from getting a job somewhere else. It's just you can't keep your job here.
Well, again, I think Texas might have been a little they jumped the gun a little bit on that whole thing, too. A lot of pressure. There were a lot of things, but Chris Beard is gone. He's doing very well at Mississippi right now because they're way up on North Carolina. But I digress. Look, Rodney Terry was not ready for the job. He wasn't. But I think he's done a pretty good job of holding this thing together. And he had some success last year. But look, I think Chris Del Conte wants Texas to be in the mix. When you look at the SEC, and 14 of the 16 teams in that conference get into this tournament, I think it says, look, we're a basketball conference as well, and we've got to compete in that. Obviously, football rules, it is king. That's going to be where all the priority is. But I think if you're Chris Del Conte, you're Texas, and even farther than that, if you're a guy with deep pockets at the University of Texas, you want champions there. You want teams you can be proud of, teams that go far, so you can brag about it. And so I just don't know that, look, Rodney Terry was not a popular hire to begin with. I understand why they did it, and it went fast. But I don't know that Chris Del Conte, I'm assuming he's getting a lot of pressure from those people with deep pockets.
Well, and again, when you think about, and again, I say this with the caveat, who was the reporter that broke the story and how much do you trust him? How often is he more right than he is wrong? And Chip Brown has enough skins on the wall of being right and being first. So well connected with everything going on at the 40 acres. And Chip Brown doesn't report that without enough people telling him. And so But here we are Friday afternoon, and who knows, right? Do you have to have HR? Maybe Chris Del Conte knee-jerk reaction. Oh, we're going to make it. And, let's sleep on it a while. Let's talk to Rodney Terry. But it wouldn't be a knee-jerk reaction because generally speaking, when a coach gets fired, unless you're Chris Beard in a situation like that, and even that took a couple of days because of all the legal stuff that they had to go through. The idea of I thought he saved his job when they beat A&M. And if you're Chris Del Conte, if you decided that, then do you change your mind a week later? Well, it's easy for a fan to. It's a lot harder for the athletic director to have that same kind of mentality.
I agree, and especially when he just got an extension, right? I mean, after the success that they had. But Chris Del Conte has to answer to a lot of other people as well.
Yep.
I mean, so he's got to hear what they're saying and what are they saying. But the fact that this hasn't become official could mean a couple of things. Either it is going to happen and Chris Del Conte is just waiting to go, Terry's out, this guy's in. It could be that simple. I don't know. But maybe he stays. Maybe he does stay since you signed him and you give him another year to see what he can get done. But as of now, nothing is official. So Rodney Terry is still now the head basketball coach at the University of Texas.
So what you're suggesting is the feelers are out, and if who CDC really wants is available, he would make the change.
That's my gut.
If he's not seemingly going to get the guy that he wants, then he'll stick with Rodney Terry, and that is a possibility. Because if you fire Rodney Terry, you've got to replace somebody with somebody better, which honestly might not be hard to do. Rodney Terry with that job, was he ready for it? Probably not. Would he be successful at other places? Probably. And will he have a successful career as he grows and learns? That's certainly a possibility. You look at a Shaka Smart. Shaka Smart, his rise, but was he ready for what was happening in Austin with his style? But you look at the success he has had away from. You could say the same thing about Rick Barnes and the continued success that Rick Barnes has had since he left Texas and, with what he's done at Tennessee. You look at Chris Beard, but some people, Texas is one of those jobs in every sport, and you have to be ready for it and be able to handle that. And maybe Rodney Terry just isn't the right guy for that job, but if you're going to replace him, you better replace him with somebody better. And we all say big splash hires. You got to find a program builder that can be the overall CEO for that basketball program, and also realize football is first. And our women's program right now is better than the men's program.
Yes, it is.
And, swimming is pretty damn good. And our golf team is good. And our baseball team is good. And that's also where I look at what's the priority for men's basketball. And I know publicly Chris Del Conte will tell you it's just as important as everything. But you look around a lot of schools and where the priorities are. And in Austin, it is football, and it needs to be. That's the biggest revenue generator.
There is no, and by not only that, by far, it's not even close. That football program brings in millions of dollars. So that's not even close. But again, if you are the University of Texas, you're an alumni from the University of Texas. You're a booster from the University of Texas. You want all of those programs to be good. And if the women are they're a number one seed in the tournament, the women's tournament. And I think the expectation among boosters and those that pay the money is that the Texas Longhorns men's team should be a number one seed in the NCAA tournament. And that's the way it is. And if you're a fan of Texas, you don't want anything else. I mean, that's the way it should be. It's that, our football team is great, but the basketball team sucks. You don't want that. You want to know that every season you go into, you've got an opportunity to walk home with a national championship.
The lack of information is interesting. When, again, Rodney Terry tweeted this at 9:01 this morning. Thank you, Longhorn Nation, for your consistent support. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, he knows. And he's been told. And I expected either a press release and or Chris Del Conte to have some sort of press conference, release something. By 4 o'clock, we don't know anything. And quite frankly, the fact that they haven't said we have moved on from Rodney Terry, knowing what is swirling around the program right now and the things being said about the head coach, if Chris Del Conte was keeping Rodney Terry with the full support of the athletic department, wouldn't it be smart of Chris Del Conte to at least tweet,
yes,
hey, man, had a meeting with Rodney Terry, looking forward to next year. He's going to do great things.
Yes.
The fact that we don't have that yet,
just silent,
tells me it's still very much in limbo.
Yep.
Because if he was going to keep his job, they could easily end all this discussion with a tweet. And Chris Del Conte tweets a lot.
Yes, he does.
He hasn't done that. They also haven't said that he's fired. What are they waiting for?
That's a great question. And again, the only thing I can think of is maybe is sleeping on it. Maybe he's taking some time before he makes that decision and pulls that trigger. Or maybe he is looking and talking to the replacement and trying to get a deal worked out there. Maybe the replacement is still playing basketball right now. That could very well be. I don't know. I mean, we can only speculate at this point in time, but nothing seems to make sense, and it doesn't seem like, at least to me at this point in time, that Rodney Terry will be back.
Now, the guy that I really want is actually not coaching, but he's on the CBS television set. But the other part, the portal window for basketball is about to open. And it is very possible that Chris Del Conte is talking to a lot of those guys about their intentions and if they were to make a change. You wonder how much in this new world of college athletics, because Rodney Terry has brought in some talent that I do think Texas would want to keep, and whatever coach comes in is going to want to keep. And you wonder how much power do those players have now, because they could hit that portal and that could make the job maybe less attractive. Although with the portal, whoever comes in is going to be able to go buy whatever is necessary. But you almost wonder if the players and their, I don't want to say recommendations, but their comments about the coach, their desire to go to bat for the coach, how much that would influence Chris Del Conte and his decision-making in this world of transfer portal.
Could very well be. I mean, all of those things you have to take into consideration these days. But again, my gut, as I sit here today, the fact that there is silence, nothing said either way, leads me to believe that's not good news for Rodney Terry.
I totally agree with that. Everybody on the road to San Antonio. Duke, 78-41 now over Mount St. Mary's. Grand Canyon and Maryland just getting underway. The Lopes leading the Turtles 5-2. About 5 minutes gone. Ole Miss blowing out North Carolina 41-23.
It's that Chris Beard guy we keep talking about. And it's really unfortunate, honestly, because Texas had their guy.
Yeah.
They had their guy. Chris Beard would have been the guy that could have taken that program to heights that Texas has never been to before. And I just think that was very unfortunate what happened. But he goes to a place like Ole Miss, who's never been known as a basketball powerhouse. And they come into the tournament as a 6th seed, and they are just whooping up on North Carolina right now.
Now, when you think about the Final Four here in San Antonio, one of the cool events happening around it is that college slam dunk and three-point championship. That's happening April 3rd at the Frost Bank Center. We've got a pair of tickets. Let's give them away right now. Caller number 12. Those tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 12, you're going to go to the college basketball slam dunk and three-point championship. Now, you need to come over and see us here at Twin Peaks, the Westover Hills location, 410 and 151. You want to come hang out with us today. And you also want to plan on being here Wednesday, because the Twin Peaks girls that are gearing up for Miss Twin Peaks 2020-2025 in Miami, they're going to be here at this location, 410 and 151, on Wednesday from 5 to 9, doing an in-store photo shoot.
Now, that would be entertaining.
Yes.
To say the least.
Yes. Well,
yes, very entertaining.
And, it's lingerie day here at Twin Peaks.
It is.
And so I think that might be a bit of a teaser, if you will, for what's going to happen Wednesday during the photo shoot.
I'd like to come to work in my pajamas. I don't wear lingerie, but I mean, they come to work in pajamas.
I don't want to know what's under your jeans, Ryan Eagle. I don't want to know what's under your jeans.
Oh, my. Well, I mean, it's this place is packed and has been all day. And I say it's packed. There's still room here for you.
Absolutely.
But a lot of folks in here enjoying their Friday afternoon, basketball, food, and some cold beer and some cold drinks.
Come hang out with us. Twin Peaks 410 and 151. It is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself anymore, testosterone therapy or TRT may be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment with the TRT experts at Synergenics Testosterone Weight Loss. With over a decade of TRT experience, book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
If you're looking to up your beer game, Karbach has you covered. From Hopadillo to Crawford Bach to Ziegenbach to their bestseller, the Love Street, there's something for everybody in the lineup, and you can find it anywhere. Next time you're out and about, ask your bartender to make it a Karbach.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Did you know colon cancer can be detected early or prevented through regular screening?
I have detected around Earth is the greatest lie ever.
Okay, Roger. My uncle just passed away and I inherited his cockatoo, Roger. He was a member of the Flat Earth Society, so Roger picked up on some of his rhetoric. Anyway, screening, such as a colonoscopy.
Screen these! Screen these!
Roger that, Roger. Moving on. Colonoscopies can detect early-stage colon or rectal cancer or even polyps, which are abnormal growths that can turn into cancer over time.
I'm a Flat Earth walker!
Come on, Roger. What did I do to my uncle to deserve you? You don't get to choose what you inherit, just like colon cancer. Unlike Roger here, I believe in science. And science says that if colon cancer runs in your family, you're more likely to develop it yourself. Talk to your doctor about when you should start screening. Find out more at coloncancercoalition.org. A message from the Colon Cancer Coalition.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99 with the ultra bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super fast 5G network. See, isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account and ported on $60 plan. First service charge and tax to with sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Former Cowboys wide receiver Brandon Cooks has a new team today. He's signed with the New Orleans Saints, 2 years, $13 million. By the way, that reunites Cook with the Saints. He was drafted by them in the first round back in 2014. Texans have signed another offensive lineman. Trent Brown signs a 1-year, $3 million deal. And the Spurs back in action tonight at home against the 76ers.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live out at Twin Peaks, 410 and 151 because it's tournament time.
And this is the place to be, tournament time for sure. A lot of folks are here enjoying the games and some food and some cold beverages, that's for sure. And the scenic views, as Rob Thompson likes to say. So all of the above is a good reason to point your car in this direction and head over here and hang out with us.
Absolutely. Some of the games going on right now. Let's see. Duke is up 91-46. The question is, will they crack 100? Well, can they get 100 in another 9 points in the next 2 minutes?
Well, I think they can. Look, they've got all their second and third stringers there, whatever they have. I don't think the starters have played at all in the second half. So, but they're still able to do that, and you would expect that from a program like Duke. Yeah, they can get there if they want to. It's a matter of, do they want to do that?
I would. Vandy over St. Mary's 39-33. Ole Miss leading North Carolina at the half 44-26. Maryland now leading Grand Canyon 11-7. Games that have gone final already today. Baylor gets by Mississippi State 75-72. Alabama, a 2 seed. They were clinching most of this one. They do beat Robert Morris, the 15 seed, at 90-81. Iowa State, no problem with Lipscomb, 82-55. And Colorado State, a 12 seed, they knock off the 5th-seeded Memphis Tigers, 78-70.
Good game, but Memphis couldn't get over the hump. I had Memphis, all transparency, but I did have Baylor today too. So I'm 1-1. I've got Ole Miss on my bracket and my pocketbook. So things are still good, looking good. Had a good day yesterday, Jason, at the betting window.
Yeah.
I did.
Good.
Yeah.
If you could only actually go up to a window in the state of Texas.
Well, I know, but you know what? All you politicians out there, guess what? I can do it right here.
On your phone.
And the state of Texas doesn't benefit one iota.
Yeah, well, and again, you look at that, that's part of it. Now, next week we will be able to walk up to a betting window because we'll be at Circa Las Vegas. Still time for you. Book your stuff and get a room, get a flight, come hang out with us at Circa Las Vegas. There's a link at sasportstar.com that will take you to the discount page for your rooms. Or if you're right on the circalasvegas.com website, promo code Blitz. We'll be out there doing the Blitz next Thursday and Friday because it's Mega March weekend. It'll be the Sweet 16 round of the tournament and opening day of Major League Baseball. We are less than a week away from baseball starting, and we've talked about some of the crazy food that is going to be new at ballparks across the country this year because they do that every year. But I'll tell you what, the Mets might have one of the best worst deals you could come up with. They are going to have what they call the Dog Bowl. For $12.99, you can get 12 hot dogs that are stuffed inside of a Mets helmet.
Dude, that's a hell of a deal.
Seymour Wiener.
Yeah, 12 of them.
That's a hell of a deal.
It is a hell of a deal.
I mean, I'm happy the Mets are doing that. But, I mean, 12 hot dogs for basically $1 a piece?
Well, I mean, how much do you think the souvenir helmet is? I mean,
and that too.
You think about the souvenir helmets with ice cream. You're paying a lot of money for ice cream because you get a little helmet that you're going to put on a shelf for your desk or whatever. But it's a pretty big helmet to get 12 dogs in it. Although I got to say, the photo that they are putting out on Twitter and social to promote this, those might be the saddest looking hot dogs.
Well, they probably are. I mean, those are discount wieners, I'm sure.
I mean, right?
Because, I mean, how else could they do that for $12.99?
Well, they're certainly not gourmet hot dogs.
No.
But that's a lot of glizzies.
Glizzies, oh my God.
Don't we all wish we could see more wiener?
Yes, we do. And stop calling a hot dog a glizzy. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Nobody calls a damn hot dog a glizzy.
Well, a lot of people do.
Nobody does. I don't know anybody that calls them a glizzy except for one newspaper reporter in the Express News.
Yeah.
Glizzies.
A deal seems like a no-brainer. I know it's on the internet. I do wonder if it's true. Just saying. But I did see it on Twitter. It looks pretty damn funny. Because that would be a hell of a deal.
Yes.
Could you eat 12 hot dogs?
Well, no. But if you're bringing, say, I don't know, there's a family of 4. There you go. You got dogs for everybody for the whole game.
If true, that would be one of the best deals in sports stadium food.
There's no question. It would be.
Even if they're rough-looking hot dogs.
Yeah, those hot dogs are not the best.
You wouldn't eat those while you were sober.
Well, you might. You're at a ball game.
I don't know. I mean, I think if you were to, buy a hot dog, if you were to buy that dog, what we see in those photos, and pay your $5-6, and you opened up the little package it comes with, put your mustard or whatever on it, and you saw that, you'd be disappointed, right? Especially at $5. At $1, yeah. But that seems like the kind of deal you take advantage of after you've had a couple of beers.
Well, perhaps.
And you got the munchies.
But then you got a souvenir you didn't have to buy.
Well, that's true. Of course, the other part of it, too, that's got to be late in the ball game just in case, because if those dogs are what they are, you don't want those in the first inning. You might not see the end of the game.
Yeah, you might. You'll be checking out the facility pretty quickly. I think it's a hell of a deal. I hope it's true. I really do.
We'll see. I mean, I don't plan on going to a Mets game, so I don't think I'm going to find out.
Well, I wouldn't mind going to a Mets game.
Uh-huh.
You know, be kind of cool to go to that ballpark. I like visiting different ballparks.
Yeah.
And doing that kind of stuff.
It is fun. I generally visit a lot of ballparks because there's a concert there. Like when I was seeing the Foo Fighters last summer at the home of the Mets Stadium.
There you go.
Right?
You see that?
And when you're staying in Queens, it's very interesting.
It's too bad they didn't have the hot dog helmet.
They did not.
That's a shame.
Or any other kind of food specials, that is for sure. Just saw an interesting tweet from Peter Burns. 25 million brackets. Right now, 5,572 perfect brackets remain. One of them is Courtney Cronin from ESPN.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, that's impressive. I mean, that really is impressive to have a perfect bracket at this point in time in the tournament.
Yes.
I mean, that really is. Obviously, you got to know a little bit about what you're talking about, but 99% of that is just pure luck.
Oh, I mean, I don't know that Courtney would tell you that.
It's pure luck.
If you've got a perfect bracket at this point, you either say, yep, random guesses, or listening to Courtney, probably one that did more homework than the rest of us.
Well, maybe so, and that perhaps that's true, but still, I mean, I know people that do a lot of homework, and they don't have a perfect bracket staring at them right now.
The fact that there's 5,000 of them.
Yeah, out of the, 2 million or whatever?
25 million.
Oh, 25 million.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
incredible.
Insane percentage.
No doubt.
Come hang out with us and join in on the insanity here at Twin Peaks, 410 and 151. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need caps done. Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And he's got all the popular cap brands like Katie Caps, Nike Cap America, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps in stock. He's got everything for a spring line on display right now in his showroom. So if you need your company logo, group logo, any kind of logo on a golf shirt, a fishing shirt, any kind of shirt, go see Sam. If you need uniforms, he has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. If you need T-shirts screen printed, Sam will get you taken care of. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, certainly no order too small. And Sammy is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Frankie, would you like to rap at the Testicle Festival? Can you give me a little rap?
You want me to spit a rap?
Yeah, I want you to spit a rap.
About balls? Yo, Testicle Festival. It's like an extraterrestrial. Widen my eyes when I see them calf fries.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
The Basketball Madness headquarters is always at Twin Peaks, and the Blitz will be live today from the Westover Hills location to cover all the action.
Catch all the madness and the best seats in the house with the lovely ladies of Twin Peaks. Happy hour food and drink specials, along with the frosty 29-degree drafts.
And it's Bourbon and Brews Friday, which means lingerie costume party paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings, and giveaways.
So how is your bracket holding up? Get to Twin Peaks Westover Hills. We're getting started at 2.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-247-1146. 800-247-1146. Again, that's 800-247-1146.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom. Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix, live out at Twin Peaks, 410 and 151 location, the Westover Hills spot where it's about shift change. You know, we saw this yesterday at Park North. You know, they have like the staff meeting. They gather everybody around.
Yeah.
And all the ladies that are about to start work, I guess they're getting their instructions for the day, like the game plan from the boss. But the amount of selfies that are taken prior to is just comical.
Well, I got this from this one girl here is putting her makeup on.
Yeah.
So she looks nice when she gets out there to serve everybody.
She looked nice as she walked by to get to the meeting.
Well, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, was she the cherry girl?
No.
Oh.
She's over yonder.
Oh, she's over there. Okay.
If you're watching on YouTube over my left shoulder right now, you know, might be able to see a perfectly placed tattoo.
Hold on, these YouTube folks want to see. That's what we're talking about.
The
right over here.
The meeting that's going on.
The meeting that's happening.
See all you guys on YouTube.
A shift change.
Get off the small screen and actually come see things in person.
Absolutely.
Knock off work.
Yeah, they're back there. It's hard to see even with this camera.
Justin Guerrera in all caps. Flip the flipping camera.
And that's why I did that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Uh-huh.
It's still hard to see. I mean, from that distance, right? So, but yeah, I mean, if you're that
on how
interested,
big your screen is.
If you're that interested, Justin, all you have to do is get in your car and come over here. You can see it for yourself. Just that easy.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that Justin the one that won the deal from Dr. Connie Hires because he really screwed up with his girlfriend?
I think that is the same guy.
Maybe it's safer for Justin not to come. Everybody else, you come and have a great time.
It's
Justin, you'll get in trouble.
Justin can come. I mean, this place is harmless.
Oh, it is.
You know, I mean,
you can say that, but what does Mrs. Guerrero say?
Well, that I don't know.
It is lingerie day here.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was Mrs. Guerrero yet.
Well, no. Oh, that's true.
Right.
I mean, it's because he his current girlfriend, if I remember the story accurately, was a little upset because he was still talking to the past girlfriend.
I believe that is the story. Yes.
Yeah, that's
exactly
bad,
right.
Dude. That's bad.
Well, it's not. I don't know that it is. I mean, who knows? For me, you don't ever have to worry about that.
If you're not sure about your starter, you always want to make sure your bullpen is warmed up and ready to go. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but not with how can I put this kindly?
Well, at least he's familiar with the roster.
Well, he's familiar with it, and sometimes that's why you trade people.
Well,
right?
At some point, but sometimes you make a change and you realize, man, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Well, you make a trade, and the guy, or the gal in this instance, goes and bats 500 somewhere else. Then you got to have regret.
It was like the Mavericks trading away Luka.
Yeah.
I think there's probably regret there. And if not now, there will be.
Well,
right?
sure, there's got to be.
Sometimes you make bad trades.
Yes.
Sometimes decisions are made. Like putting deodorant on in the middle of the store. Things you don't expect to see.
Well, you probably should have done that before you got here, but I don't mind the fact that she did that.
Well, I'm curious. Did she ask one of all of us, you want to check and make sure am I good?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you need to add something.
Somebody would say, oh, man, something stinks.
That's when you know you got good friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's like when you see a friend with a booger, you got to tell them.
Yeah, you have
Greg,
to.
Greg.
Right? Yeah.
Because otherwise you're walking around with a booger in your nose.
I just wonder.
Check my pits. Am I good? No, dude, add something.
That guy's he's giving a speech over there. It's kind of like a Rodney Terry speech that we heard earlier in the show.
Dude, this is an intense pre-whatever shift meeting.
This is. It's like, man.
Juan Garcia says we need to start wearing GoPros.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Peter Aguilar says it's stiffy time. What if they could make a stiffy here? Yeah. I'm sure they could. I'm sure they have today.
Many times. Many times. And then there's the drink.
Yes. Yo.
But that's kind of a Rue Pub specialty.
Yes, that's true. It is.
That the drink itself, you want to save that for the Rue Pub.
Well, I didn't say a Rheinegel stiffy. I just said a stiffy. There's a difference, man. Listen, pay attention.
Yes. in that regards, it is.
Yes.
Sure. We'll go for it. I think a lot of people will have the excitement of if Micah gets a deal done.
Yes, I think they would.
Interesting tweet today from Micah Parsons. And who knows, all speculation here, but the timing of the tweet was interesting. Now, the tweet was about an hour after Pro Football Talk had an article about the details on Jamar Chase's contract, which if you go through it and look at the details, there's kind of a bogus year at the end of it that is a team option, and generally a year added at the end that is team option and not guaranteed never happens. So if you were to take that year out, then Jamar Chase is not the highest paid non-quarterback because his average per year salary drops a couple of $1 million. And again, details, right? But what is guaranteed, what isn't, because he did the victory lap the Bengals on social did. Now, granted, he has a hell of a deal and a lot of guaranteed money. But if you take that bogus year out that most people don't ever see because they're either going to get a new deal or released by their team, is his contract really what it appeared to be when, they put it out that this is what he got and this is what his agent did when you start looking at what is real? So the tweet from Micah comes after that. Also, though, last night he was at a charity event that he was hosting, but Osa Odigizua was there. And Osa signed this big 4-year contract and all. But when you got the details, really a 2-year deal. And honestly, he would have made more money guaranteed playing on the tag this year than on this contract. So maybe Osa was talking about his deal last night. Either way, the Micah Parsons tweet today, some of these agents don't have the best interest for y'all, man. Wake up. David Mulligetta has been showing it time and time again. It's sad seeing some of these players get violated by teams because of lack of decency and effort by their agents.
Oh. Well, it's interesting, and what that tells me, first and foremost, is that whole I don't have to be the highest paid guy thing, I wouldn't believe that. That ain't happening. Mulligetta's not going to let that happen, and it sounds to me like Micah Parsons is going to allow Mulligetta to do obviously the dirty work and get it done. But if he's talking about agents don't have the best interest for y'all, wake up. Yeah, forget about that. I don't need to be the highest paid guy thing. Micah Parsons will be, and he's going to demand it.
Well, and again, I'm not sure, like, this is the best deal. If you hire representation, and if you're a player, especially a young player, some of these older guys that have been through it, that have been educated, maybe screwed over by an agent, whatever the case may be. But when you're dealing with general managers and team owners that have been doing it for years, they are smarter than you in these situations because they've been there. They're trying to get the best deal for the team, and you're just trying to be rich, right?
Sure.
And so I could see where Mulligetta is trying to educate his client in Micah Parsons. And I go with everything that I've heard from Micah Parsons. So just taking the man at his word. He doesn't have to be the highest paid overall average per year, but I do think he wants the most guaranteed money. And I know I've been saying it, and you've been like, there's no way Jerry's going to do this. But I think Micah Parsons would be fine with not being able to say I'm the highest paid when it comes out. You're not really, because it's all about the guaranteed money. You look at Mulligetta, who gets a lot of guaranteed money for his guys. Just got $89 million guaranteed on a $90 million deal for Stingley. He also got Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed deal. I think Micah's after more guaranteed money in real years than any of the fake money that most likely isn't going to happen, because we say it all the time. You hear so-and-so signed for $90 million, 46 guaranteed. It's $46 million contract.
Yeah, exactly, because that's what's guaranteed. And in the NFL, they can once they can just release you, and you're out of luck. But look, Micah Parsons is going to, and Mulligetta's obviously, and this could be part of the problem. I mean, if we're talking about, and I'm just making this number up at this $140 million guaranteed for Micah Parsons, just say that's it. Do you honestly think Jerry is going to guarantee $140 million? I don't. And I think that could be where this thing gets sticky, and it gets sticky in a hurry. I just don't see him fully guaranteeing a contract for anybody, much less Micah Parsons.
The back and forth structures, but I think there might be more guaranteed money when this is all said and done, whether Jerry wants to do it or not. Now, granted, Jerry has leverage still at this point. He can tag Micah next year. And he could tag him again the year after that. In reality, Micah has 3 more years with the Dallas Cowboys. But I think all of us fully expect Micah would hold out of all the OTAs and training camp to try to get a new deal before the start of the season. And it does feel like everything that we've heard, especially from Stephen Jones, with the new coach, a new defensive coordinator, the importance of making sure Micah is at all the offseason activities, including the voluntary ones, that might take away some, because, again, Micah's leverage is I'm not going to show up. Maybe they get it done. But very interesting tweet from Micah, who said yesterday he wasn't disappointed that a deal wasn't done yet. And depending on what reporter you believe, they've either exchanged offers or they haven't had any real meaningful conversations. Who knows? But if there's communication, to me, that's meaningful. How serious has it gotten? Who knows? But if they've exchanged offers as it's been reported, again, if you believe that, then to me that's pretty meaningful. But also, could that also mean the Cowboys offered something and Mulligata explained to Micah why this is not what it appears to be?
Yeah, look, I think this thing could get nasty before it gets better. Just like it was with CD, just like it was with Dak Prescott. Same thing. Now, look, Prescott showed up for everything. He didn't hold out. But CD did. And everybody that's on YouTube saying, well, Jerry's going to he'll tag him. He's not going to have that opportunity. He's not, because Mike is going to hold out this year if he doesn't have a contract.
I think he'll hold out at training camp, but I don't know that he's going to miss game checks.
Why would he not hold out?
It's like every other guy that ends up coming back to work. I mean, very few. I think about Dwayne Brown years ago with the Texans, and that wasn't his first deal. Missed, 6-7 games, something like that.
Emmitt Smith missed games.
Yeah, he missed 2 and got a new deal. But you look at, I'm thinking about recent. So if Micah Parsons could sit out training camp and all that stuff, I don't see him missing games because that's game checks. And then if you miss so many games, then you don't get that year accrual for being in the league, which is why Dwayne Brown came back to work. Because, if I don't come back this week, then this year doesn't count. So I don't know that he would miss any regular season games, but he's going to miss it without a new deal all or most of training camp. I could certainly see that. And then how far behind is he going to be once the regular season begins?
Well, and Jerry will cave and sign him before that happens. Because that's the only leverage that Micah Parsons has at this moment in time. Because everybody on YouTube's right. Micah Parsons under contract this year.
Yep.
And then after that, Jerry can tag him twice. Absolutely. You guys are all right, but that's not the way that it works with star players. And Micah Parsons will hold out. And I guarantee if he doesn't have a deal, why would he play without a guaranteed deal? Because he knows damn good and well that if he leaves Dallas, somebody's going to pay him what he's worth.
Well, sure, but unless they work a trade, he won't be able to leave Dallas for 3 years. And again, he's got $25 million this year on the final year of his rookie deal, so he is under contract. He wants the new contract now, but Jerry could. Not saying that he will, but when you start looking at the options and what's real, he's under contract for next year, final year of his rookie deal. Jerry could then tag him the year after that. Jerry could tag him the year after that. And hell, Jerry could tag him the year after that. But nobody ever gets a third tag just because the cost is too much. Again, and we've seen Jerry use the tag before.
On Dak Prescott.
I don't see him going that route, but he does have those options. So in Jerry's mind, and we've seen Jerry do this before, the urgency, the threat of holding out of offseason, sure, I don't see him missing games because that means you're missing money. But at the same time, I got you for 3 more years, so it's not like I'll hold out and become a free agent. It doesn't work that way. And if he did miss the whole year, he still has the final year of his rookie year. He belongs to the Cowboys.
CeeDee Lamb was in the same situation.
Yep.
Exact same situation. He was under contract and was holding out. Now, it didn't get to the point where he would miss games or not. But if you're Micah Parsons, look, you got to drive a hard bargain or demand a trade.
Yeah.
And Jerry probably doesn't want to do that. But, I mean, look, at his point where he's at, he's 25 years old. And he has an opportunity to make life-changing money. And that's the only leverage that Micah Parsons has. And so I don't know. I don't think it'll go that far, to be quite honest with you, because I think Jerry will eventually cave. But I don't know. I mean, I could see this thing getting ugly, especially if Parsons and his agent are wanting a fully guaranteed contract. Because I just don't think Jerry's going to do that.
It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. You know, part of me earlier this week thought maybe it does get done, even though I didn't think it'd get done anytime soon, just based on the reporting. And what an interesting tweet today from Micah Parsons and trying to interpret what that could mean, which could be a variety of different things.
Absolutely.
Who knows?
Doubt.
variety of different things here with us at Twin Peaks.
Yeah, there certainly is.
410 and 151. A couple of games still in action, late games to come. Come hang out with us here and watch the tournament games tonight. It is Lingerie Day here at Twin Peaks.
And Whiskey Day, right?
And sure. Yeah.
It is. Well, I mean, whiskey and lingerie, that goes perfectly together.
It really
does. Of course it does.
Smooth.
It's very smooth.
It's very noticeably smooth.
Kind of like as smooth as my golf swing.
Oh, please.
Pretty much, I would say. About as smooth as my golf swing. And I could show you that because out at the Golf Club of Texas, the weather's going to be absolutely beautiful this weekend. And you could show us how smooth your golf swing is as well. Get on out to the Golf Club of Texas. The weather is absolutely perfect. And you know the best part about it is you can go play golf this weekend. And then you can stick around at the 10 Cup Bar and Grill and watch all the basketball action. It's a perfect way to spend your Saturday and Sunday, for that matter. Go check out the Golf Club of Texas. They've done so much work to that golf course. It is incredible. It really is. Brand new golf cart paths all throughout the golf course. They've resodded. They've zero-scaped a big portion of it as well. It looks fantastic. Looks like a private club. But the good news for all of us, it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week, and it's just a great place to go. A great golf course, a great challenge for any handicap at this point. And then, like I said, you stick around at the 10 Cup Bar and Grill. The food out there is fantastic. The drinks are flowing. They've got beer. They've got any kind of cocktail that you would want. It's just a great place to go spend a day. Golf Club of Texas. Look, you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether you're going out for dinner at the 10 Cup, around with your buddies, your next tournament, go check them out. Best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Listen all this week to the Blitz to win tickets to see the Counting Crows at the SB. Saturday, August the 2nd, the Counting Crows, the complete suite store, comes to the SB. Tickets are on sale now. Go to the SB.com.
I've been hanging around this town corner.
Win tickets to the Counting Crows with special guests, the Gaslight Anthem from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator, roll with the sausage breakfast burrito, buddy it up with a honey buddy, or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes, and then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Looking for a place where strangers become friends over great drinks and food? Welcome to The Hangar, Petrenko, your go-to spot for mouthwatering wings, ice-cold cocktails, and an unforgettable atmosphere. Come taste some of the best wings in town, served by their friendly staff with even friendlier cocktails. With 20 big screen TVs for all your sports needs and a gorgeous patio to enjoy the great weather, The Hangar Petrenko has got you covered. Don't miss the official after party for the San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Tournament Monday, April 14th, only at Hangar Petrenko, where great food, drinks, and friends come together.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Rock's Discount Vitamins thanks God in San Antonio for all the support. The time is here, San Antonio. Mark your calendars. 1 day, 2 locations, Saturday, March 22nd. Stop by Rock's Discount Vitamins for the Spring Break Bash. Special guest C.T. Fletcher will be at the Culebra location from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then head to the Petranco location from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Plus, get 20% off the entire store all day. That's Saturday, March 22nd. Rock's Spring Break Bash. Follow Rock's on Instagram at Rock's Discount or call 210-342-ROCK.
Imagine owning waterfront property on the Texas coast. Check out the grand opening of Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay. Secure your spot to see 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access from $49.9. That's right, just $49.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, a pool and cabana, boat launch and slips, fishing pier, dog park, storage, and more. It all happens Saturday, March 29th, 1 day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at just $49.9. Call now to secure your private tour Saturday, March 29th. 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Appointments are limited, so call now and be sure to ask for event day specials and our helicopter tours. Call now, 210-853-0389. Get your piece of this coastal paradise. 210-853-0389.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. And it's all about having a great time. Grab your buddies and ladies too. Hit the course for a fun, laid-back day of golf, laughs, and a little friendly competition at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, April 14th. It's just $120 a player or $400 for a foursome. A solid deal for a day of good times with your crew. The Spring Golf Classic benefits the Pan American Golf Association. But don't worry, this isn't some high-stakes tournament. It's all about kicking back, having fun, and making memories. Presented by Fly by Yingling and sponsored by Ancira.com and PPL Motorhomes. After you've crushed it on the course, join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Cold drinks, great food, and good times with all of your buddies. So grab your spot, grab your crew, and tee off for a day of unforgettable fun. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix out at Twin Peaks, 410 and 151. Thrilling game just went final between St. Mary's and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt goes down 59-56, the final score. The 7-seeded St. Mary's squad, they move on.
You know, that vaunted SEC conference is not doing so great in this tournament. 14 out of 16 teams get in, and What, about half of those have been knocked out already?
It's interesting when you start looking at the conferences and what they've done, whether it's the SEC and they had a rough day yesterday, the Big 12 with Kansas losing. And what's crazy, Kansas is Kansas, right? But Bill Self, last time that dude lost in the first round was in 2006.
Yeah.
17 straight wins in the first round. Of course, that streak comes to an end.
With Kansas out, that's kind of weird when you're looking at an NCAA tournament. So, but they're out. North Carolina's still alive, at least for the moment. They're trying to come back against Ole Miss, but we'll see what happens. Still 11 minutes to go in that game, and they're down by, 14 points, 59-45. So it's been fun, though. It really has been fun watching these basketball games and just seeing what happens and who's doing well and who's not.
And Maryland all over Grand Canyon at the half, 42-28, the halftime score there. Overall, today's games feel like they've been better. And my bracket has certainly been much better today than it was yesterday, especially the early part of yesterday. I did really well with the late games last night. But overall, my bracket's doing all right in the group that we're in, San Antonio Sports Star. And what I find interesting is, like yesterday, I saw the total number of brackets in our group, and somehow that number has risen. So I'm guessing people with good brackets are trying to get them now into more groups so they can have a better chance of bragging rights.
I suppose so. I'm not doing so well. I'm like in 27th place in our San Antonio Sports Star Challenge. And I had one that Memphis game really hurt me because I actually had them winning the next game. So that's when it hurts, when you lose that. And I'll get over it.
So we're tied because I just pulled it up. I'm ranked 27th as well.
All right.
So we're rolling 77%. Let's see. There's one guy that's at what, Pledge? What?
I'm third.
Well, it's early, Pledge.
You know what, Pledge? My wife is tied with you.
Well, is that bad? I guess your wife's smarter about sports than you are.
Dude, she filled out the bracket the other morning about 20 minutes before the tournament.
I think that's a way to do it, man.
And she asked me odd questions going through. No. No.
I really think that's the way to do it. And, if you study this thing too much, I think you get confused. If you just sit down and bam, 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 just do it, I think you're better off.
Well, and you start looking at there's a couple people in our group that are already donezo because, of who they picked to win the national championship. Teams that, are no longer alive. Like some dude named Jose Alvarez. He had Kansas winning it all.
Oh, ouch.
He's donezo. Let's see if there's anybody else. Another guy, Gasparia 27, he had Kansas winning it all. BC Elites picks had Clemson winning it all.
Wow.
And this is just in our group, all right? I'm just scrolling through, our pages right now, looking to see a lot of Florida, a lot of Duke, a lot of Houston. And I appreciate the people going out on a limb. And I see Rob Thompson has Alabama winning it all.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Rob Thompson was in a full-on sweat earlier today during that Alabama game.
I'm sure he was. And how confident can you feel about that pick when they struggled today the way that they did? It's going to be interesting to see.
That's when you say we had a bad game and we still won. And if we got our bad game out of the system and still won, we're good for the rest of the tourney. That's the mentality you have to have. You look at some of the games coming up tonight, interesting matchups. I mean, Florida should roll. Kentucky, Troy. Kentucky's 11.5-point favorite there. New Mexico, Marquette could be an interesting 7-10 matchup. Arizona should have no problem with Akron.
The UConn-Oklahoma game could be pretty good.
I think that's going to be a good game. I really do.
Although I think UConn is still good, but at the same time,
it can't be that good. They're an 8 seed.
Again, they're the defending champions, but, not the same. The 6-11 matchup, Illinois and Xavier, Michigan State should have no problem. And the late game tonight, Oregon and Liberty, a 5-12 matchup. Oregon is only favored by 6.5.
Yep.
In that game.
I've got Liberty in that game.
And the idea of, like last night, you look at the last game and everybody was talking about, and I remember saying, the point spread is what it is. But those TV types, they make these schedules. And, Michigan, UC San Diego, 68-65. The Wolverines pulled out. Texas Tech escapes with that win over UNC Wilmington. Both of them fortunate to be moving on. Both great games late. Both had pretty big spreads on them. Vegas got those wrong, which is rare, but the TV schedule makers got them right.
They did. They absolutely did. So I look for that to be a good game, that Liberty-Oregon game. Liberty's a good basketball team, and I think they're going to give Oregon all they can handle, and I've picked them to win it. So we'll see what happens.
Well, then you look at like A&M yesterday. That game went about, I think, the way most thought. Yeah. A&M won, but it wasn't as easy. If one of the, funner games was watching Arkansas knock off Kansas 79-72. I think part of that is just watching Kansas lose. But at the same time, Arkansas played well. Some of the other games, yeah. And how about Drake knocking off Missouri? You talk about rough day for the SEC. A lot of people saw that one coming. But at the same time, Yeah,
back to Arkansas, though. They play St. John's. Think about that coaching matchup.
Yep.
Calipari against Patino.
Yeah.
My goodness, you talk about a coaching matchup. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch just because of that. I'm looking forward to seeing that game. I think St. John's will take care of Arkansas. I'm not sure how good the Razorbacks really are. But, man, just to see both of those iconic coaches on the sideline in that game is going to be fun to watch.
Well, it's just always, so much fun. And the tournament itself, because, you get these 3 great weeks, but yesterday, today, and then into the weekend, and then next weekend you get the Sweet 16, then you get the Final Four. It really is, such a fantastic time of the year. Although, like Greeny this morning, put together his list, and I forget all the details of what he had, but when you think about great sports days, and, if you combine the tournament, or it's the first round of it, great sports days, Masters Sunday is right up there. Opening day of Major League Baseball is certainly special. But the one thing that he didn't say on his list, and they talked about it, was the opening Sunday of the NFL. And he's like, that's because you got a Thursday game and a Friday game now in Brazil and all that. I don't care. There's that first weekend of real NFL football is always incredible.
No, it always is. It always is. And that, you may not have people available that maybe they didn't see the Thursday game or had to miss the Friday game because of high school football. And Sunday is the day that they're going to be able to sit down and get their fix. And so, no, I agree with you. I think it's a huge day. I love the opening Sunday of the NFL. Sports is just fantastic. But to me, this event, this tournament, to me is the most exciting sporting event that there is. You have the Super Bowl, that's one day, and it's a big deal. Don't get me wrong. The NBA Finals, that's a big deal too and a lot of fun. But this, just the format where it is one and done, you lose, you're out. That's it. I don't care what you did in the regular season. I don't care what you did anywhere else. You lost today, so your season is done.
Well, and again, there's so many great sports days to really say what is your favorite. Mine is always the next one, right? NFL Sunday, anything football, whether it's, a Friday night, the first week of Friday night football, that always gets your juices flowing. College football, it really depends because they've gotten better at making great matchups early, like this year, Texas, Ohio State. But as much as we used to wait for, college football, a lot of times you had to wait till October to get to the good games because you had so many money games in September.
Yeah.
NFL Sunday, Super Bowl is there, Christmas Day, opening for NBA, but now you have the opening day of, or not the opening, opening day, Christmas Day, the unofficial start of the NBA season, but now the NFL is taking over that, and it's Christmas Day. So for me, it's always what is next? I don't know that I have a favorite. And if I were to pick a favorite, it'd be anything NFL related.
Well, there's no doubt. I just like this event and the urgency of every game, every possession, everything like that. I love it. So is it my favorite? I mean, I got a lot of favorites, but it's certainly one of them, and it's on near the top of that list. There's no question about it. I just have a blast with this thing, and it's so much fun.
And you know what else is going to be a lot of fun and a blast? Our spring golf tournament that is coming up April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Brought to you by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. It's a Flight Friday. Why don't you do yourself a favor on this Friday and go get signed up? Get your foursome together, sasportstar.com. If you're not sure you can put a foursome together, sign up as an individual. We are close to being sold out. I'm going to guess by this time next week, we're sitting in Las Vegas, we're going to get an email saying that, we either sold out or we're down to 1 or 2, 3 teams, whatever that case is, because we are at that point. It's that time where historically when you're, inside of a month, 3 weeks away from the tournament, and you can look at the forecast or whatever, people sign up. This is kind of that week historically, and we've been doing it a long time, where we get that last minute push, and then we start hearing the bitch. And, oh, man, I was going to sign up, but, I was trying to find that Ryan to send me the $100 before I put it on my card. Get it done this week. That should be your priority, because if you wait too long, you're going to have FOMO, and then you're just going to complain that you didn't get to play in the tournament. And if you played in the tournament before, you want to play again. If you haven't played in the tournament, you need to, because you've heard about it and you said, I'm not missing one. Don't miss it. Get signed up. sasportstar.com.
Going to be a lot of fun. No doubt about it. I love the golf tournaments. You know what else I love is the fact that, Round Table Pizza. If you're hungry tonight, you don't want to cook, and you're not here, and you want a pizza, a good one, quality pizza that tastes good, Round Table Pizza is where you need to go. Signature ingredients. Let me give you an example. Made from scratch dough. They do it daily. Every single day they make the dough from scratch. They've got a 3-cheese blend. Toppings all the way to the edge of the pizza. It is fantastic, and I love that. So you'll never take a bite without having a topping in there. And right now they've got a brand new pizza that they're very proud of. I've tried it, and it is fantastic. It is a new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. It is available only for a limited time, and right now you can enjoy a large for only $19.99. You heard me right. A large pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza for $19.99. You can pair that great pizza with some of their irresistible shareables like mozzarella sticks, spicy jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges, all of which are fantastic. Look, pizza for dinner on a Friday night. It is perfection. Find your nearest location or to order for pickup or delivery. You want to head to roundtablepizza.com. That's roundtablepizza.com.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Do you hear that?
Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
San Antonio. The NCAA 2025 Men's Final Four is coming April 4th through the 7th. Check out Reese's Men's Final Four Friday, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you can watch open practices and the Reese's NABC All-Star Game at the Alamo Dome for free. And for the music lovers, March Madness Music Festival, presented by AT&T, Capital One, and Coca-Cola, with 3 days of free concerts, featuring the biggest acts in music at Tower Park and Hemisphere. Visit ncaa.com/men's final four.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NCAA tournament is still well underway, but teams from Texas have done well in round one. Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Houston, and Baylor all moving on. You can catch all the action, by the way, all weekend right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight. Philadelphia 76ers are in town. They'll tip things off from the Frost Bank Center at 7 o'clock.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate that. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix, live out at Twin Peaks, 410 and 151, the Westover Hills location.
Absolutely. It's been a blast out here yesterday and today at the Twin Peaks location. So you still got time to come out here and join us. We got a great game going on here. North Carolina has rallied to pull within 4 of Ole Miss. Ole Miss has been dominating this game the entire time. And with just a little bit over 3 minutes left, it is a 4-point ball game. Going to go right down to the wire.
Yeah, 63-59, over 5.5 minutes without a point for Ole Miss until now. Now 65-59, 2:54 to play in that one.
North Carolina, hey, Ryan Eagle, they belong. That's the message they're sending you and everybody else who doubted whether or not they should be in the tournament.
Well, we'll ask them when they lose this game.
We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see. Grand Canyon also trying to come back, although it's 43, and they just took the score off. I think 43-30.
I think you're right. That's what it was.
That game isn't much right now. It's pretty one-sided. So we'll see now 44-30. Maryland leading at Grand Canyon. The last two games of the early action, but certainly we'll keep an eye on the North Carolina Ole Miss game for sure. I need your help, audience, not Ryan Eagle.
Oh,
because
I'm happy to help you, Minix.
Well, you can't help me in this case. So I've been Googling all morning, trying to figure out some good recipes on how to cook some of these Axis fillets that I have.
All right,
because I shot that Axis in November, and I've done some other things, but I haven't done anything with the fillets, and I decided that's what's for dinner. But I've never cooked them before. I've never grilled them. I'm going to smoke them one way or the other. But if you have a good recipe, tweet it to me at Jason Minix, because so far in searching, nothing is, said, yeah, that's the way I want to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm curious because I don't know. Are there a lot of different recipes for that or not?
Well, I want to do it on the smoker. I've seen some that, frying them up and with different sauces and that's not what I want to do. Kind of more smoking like a steak, and I was going to season them like a steak. But at the same time, if somebody has something more interesting, why not?
Well, and you're absolutely right. I can't help you with that.
I knew that.
Yeah, no, I'm the last guy you want to ask. Well, I have no clue.
And my buddy John Robbins, who is just here, he does a lot of different things with wild game, and he's like, I don't know, I've never done that before.
Yeah.
So,
it's different.
Well, crap. I mean, he was the guy that generally would have a good answer.
Now, do you have a lot of these steaks? I would assume that you do.
That Axis, my freezer is so full.
Well, that's what I would think. So if I were you, I would experiment. I mean, take a recipe that you like the best, try that. If you don't like it, then try something else next time.
But that's it. When you're looking through, trying to figure out what you want, when you're trying to figure out what that inspiration is, sometimes, you're not sure what you want. I'll go into, say, a Tri-County and let the meat counter talk to me if I don't really know what I want. But same thing with how you want to prepare something is, well, let me go get some ideas and come up with something. And so far, I haven't really found that, and I don't want to end up ordering a pizza late because, what I did. If I'm looking at the recipe and thinking I'm not going to like that, I'm probably not going to like that.
No, you're probably not, but you've smoked enough steaks.
Yes.
To know what you're doing and what you like. So just cook it like you would cook a steak. That's the same thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a fillet.
Well, there you go.
But, is there a different way to do it? Is there anything that you could do with that is creative and really good?
Go to Tri-County and get a real steak. How about that? You could do that.
You could, except for I'm having deer.
Good for you. I won't be over this weekend.
You sure?
No. Positive.
It's crazy because you ate some that still to this day don't know that you were eating deer.
Well, maybe.
Because I knew better to tell you that was deer.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah. Because,
look, if I eat it, I don't know what it is, and it tastes good. Okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I'm not a deer fan. Now, you guys tell me that Axis is the king of deer when it comes to meat.
What I've eaten of what I've shot, and I was told this beforehand because I'm not the biggest venison guy either, that it's the least gamey of all the different deer meats. And what I've eaten so far, there's nothing gamey out of this Axis deer. And
nice.
Everybody says that, and I can tell you that, but fillets is the one that I haven't tried yet, so I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with it.
Well, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Man. So you got your work cut out for you this weekend.
At Jason Minix. And send them to Joe Reinagle as well, just so he can have them, because one day he'll grow a pair and try something new.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's possible.
Not if I know what it is.
It's possible because I've got to do things in, my wife does know that's what we're doing for dinner, and you've got to do that. See, I've made some Axis burgers and just not told her that it was Axis, and she had no idea, and talked about how, these are really good. What'd you do different? It's deer meat, right? But if I told her ahead of time, I don't know that she would have been as eager to try it.
David Macias has the perfect antidote for you on our YouTube page. Ketchup and gravy. I think that sounds absolutely fabulous.
David Macias is drunk.
Good call, David.
Yeah.
That's an awesome call, buddy.
Yeah. And Justin is saying the backstrap. I'm not doing backstrap. It's gone. I've done that. I'm down
these
to
are fillets.
Yes, these are fillets that we're going to do.
All right.
Steaks.
Uh-huh. Well, good luck with that, Minix.
Yep. We'll see how it goes. It'll be good.
Now, see, 830 Clay says you soak them in buttermilk all day.
Well, I know you do that a lot with regular deer meat because that helps take away the gaminess. With the Axis, I'm told you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Because they're not gaming.
All right.
But they're also lean, so you got to be careful when you're smoking because you don't want it to dry out.
Gotcha.
So
right.
It'll be interesting. But I know there's a lot of hunters that listen to this show and a lot of people that are really good at wild games. So I need your help at Jason Minix, at Joe Reinagle 210. What's going on with Micah Parsons? We are going to talk with Jon Machota from The Athletic coming up and get the latest. North Carolina and Ole Miss now 109 to play, 66-63. Ole Miss hanging on to the lead with 109 to play in the second half of this one. A North Carolina player hurt right now, so a bit of delay. Now, as you're watching all these tournament games, you want to add excitement to your March college basketball. Do it with Underdog because nothing beats March basketball. And you could bring the fun of a bracket to every game by making entries on Underdog, one of the leading sports apps. You can play in Texas, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Love playing the pick'em game where all you have to do is choose higher or lower on a player's predicted stats like points, assists, rebounds, threes. Create all your entries. And again, you could turn $1 into 1,000. Yep, you could play with as little as $1. So download the Underdog app. Sign up using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code STAR. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus credits instantly upon your first deposit. Again, sign up at Underdog. Use promo code STAR.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Void where prohibited. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is heading to Vegas, and you're coming with us. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas for Mega March 27th through the 30th. Catch baseball's opening day and all of the hoops action at the world's largest sports book. Then take the party to Stadium Swim with 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. Book now at CircaLasVegas.com with promo code BLITZ and join us at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, sun, spirits, and a sure bet for an unforgettable time.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress. Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, because this deal's for a limited time. $149
for tax prep that's $149 or less. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Rock's Discount Vitamins thanks God in San Antonio for all the support.
The time is here, San Antonio. Mark your calendars. One day, 2 locations, Saturday, March 22nd. Stop by Rock's Discount Vitamins for the Spring Break Bash. Special guest C.T. Fletcher will be at the Culebra location from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then head to the Petranco location from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Plus, get 20% off the entire store all day. That's Saturday, March 22nd. Rock's Spring Break Bash. Follow Rock's on Instagram at Rock's Discount or call 210-342-ROCK. Welcome to The Hangar, Petranco, your go-to spot for mouthwatering wings, ice-cold cocktails, and an unforgettable atmosphere. Come taste some of the best wings in town, served by their friendly staff with even friendlier cocktails. Only at Hangar Petranco, where great food, drinks, and friends come together.
It's Truck Month at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on 2025 Silverado 1500s and $10,000 off MSRP on Silverado heavy duties. Buy a new 2025 Equinox posted at $24,999 or $40,999 for a new Traverse. Plus 2 years of no-charge oil changes and car washes. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com.
Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyer4us.com.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with limited time savings on the supplies pros need. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. And don't miss your chance to activate and earn 3 times the points on select DeWalt and Klein tools. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/28. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details on qualifying items.
This is the home of the Aggies, and this is Andrew Monaco. You're locked on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix. Live out at Twin Peaks at 410 and 151, the Westover Hills location. A great spot to come watch all the tournament games. Ole Miss, North Carolina going down to the wire. 69-64, Ole Miss with the lead. North Carolina has made this interesting after what was a rough beginning. And Ole Miss, if they knock down their free throws, probably going to escape with the win. We will keep you posted. But right now, let's talk to Jon Machota from The Athletic, joining us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. John, I trust you can watch basketball and talk Cowboys in your sleep, right?
I can. And any day where Duke is dominant and Carolina is losing is a good day.
There you go.
I like the way you think.
What's the week been like for you covering the Micah Parsons situation? Because early in the week, hey, they're talking, they're close. And then, they're not having meaningful conversations. Maybe they've exchanged proposals. You asked, or you tweeted yesterday that Micah at his charity event was asked if he was disappointed that he doesn't have a deal done yet. He said no, but then got cut off by a PR guy, and then he had his tweet today. The roller coaster of the week following the Micah Parsons contract. What's it been like for you?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I got invited to that. It was a charity event that Micah was hosting yesterday in Frisco. not too far from the Star. And so when it started, we were told not to ask. We weren't to ask any football questions. It was just about the event, which, I mean, we asked about the event for, 5-6 minutes. And then, when it's like a star player, let's say like a CD Lamb or a Dak or a Micah, you're going to throw in a football question at the end. And they reiterated that he wasn't going to answer anything about football. But I'm like, well, I'm here. I'm not going to sit there and not ask him. I mean, it's not like I asked him, hey, what's going on with this Twitter beef with you and DeMarcus Lawrence or something. I didn't bring that up. I'm just asking how he feels about not having a new contract. So, his agent was there. David Mulugeta was at the event. David Mulugeta doesn't do deals, man. He is one of, if not the best agents in the NFL. Like, he gets guys paid. It's very similar, obviously, to what happened with Dak and his agent, Todd France. Like, Todd France does not take deals. Like, he gets his guy to reset the market. And I still think that's what's going to happen with Micah. And so, yeah, I mean, this is the thing. You can be close on years. You can be close on average annual value, but then now there's a sticking point with guarantees, and so I don't think that it's about to get done or anything like that. But I mean, ultimately it will get done. I don't see Micah Parsons playing anywhere else. Like, they'll get something figured out. And I think in July, might be the time, and that might be the latest, because I think they would want him at training camp at the start. But I just don't think that it's right there on the cusp of happening. I think that there would have to be some things to change. But I mean, I don't know why, but that's just kind of how the Cowboys have done business with their star players, that it usually drags out longer. The parameters are there, Jamar Chase's deal, Myles Garrett's deal, but I always err on the side of caution with the big star player for the Cowboys.
I want to ask you how you interpreted his tweet, John, but I just saw a headline on ProFootballTalk.com that says Micah Parsons says $40 million annually would make him the happiest man alive. I'm not sure where he said that. I just saw the headline, but I mean, this, and Jason and I were talking about it, this whole thing, well, he doesn't have to be the highest paid guy, and that's nice to say, but when push comes to shove, you want to be the highest paid guy.
Yeah, and it could very well be one of those things where he's fine with getting something that, is right there with what Myles Garrett is getting per year, which is, let's say it's 40 or 41, something like that, to just, get above it a little bit. But his agent could be looking at it as, no, we drag this thing out into the summer, you're going to get 45, and it's hard to argue that his agent would be wrong if that's what he wants, because if you look at if it drags out like that, that's probably what he will end up getting. I mean, it's in the Cowboys' best interest to do this deal as soon as possible, because the price will only go up. And so if you wait till the summer, I mean, 43, 45 might not be out of the question. I mean, right now it seems like 40, 41 would make sense, but they're just, I don't know. I mean, Micah says that he'll take a team-friendly deal, but at the end of the day, he also has an agent that's negotiating a contract. He's not the one doing it. So we'll see, but that will also be a thing that if it does drag out into the summer and it is 43, 45, and it completely resets that market, there's going to be a lot of fans that are going to bring back what he said in November, December, when he said about how he didn't need to be the highest paid and he didn't need $40 million in that. So, we'll see how it goes. But ultimately, I mean, they'll get a deal done with him. He's not going anywhere.
Jon Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. Game has gone final. Ole Miss does beat North Carolina 71-64, the final score. And the obvious, I think $40 million a year would make all of us extremely happy,
yes, it would.
Regardless. But at the same time, I'm almost wondering with the tweet today, the timing of it. I know he was at Oso Odighizuwa was at the charity event last night, but there was the breakdown of Jamar Chase's contract. So is it really the highest paid non-quarterback if you take away that final year that, is kind of a non-real year, the way contracts work in the NFL? And Mulugeta, based on that tweet, trying to educate Micah on what is real. And then I look at another Mulugeta client, and Derek Stingley with Houston, that just got 89 of 90 guaranteed on his 3-year deal earlier this week. Makes me wonder if the sticking point at this point isn't about being the highest paid per year or whatever, but it's more about how much real guaranteed money are you going to get. And knowing Mulugeta, is he trying to get close to, if not a fully guaranteed contract? And if he is, what do you think Jerry would do if he's forced to sign a deal like that?
Well, this is the thing, is that if he does want that, and hey, as a player, you should want that. I mean, you look across, baseball, basketball, hockey. I mean, these guys are getting these guaranteed deals, the star players. And so I don't think there's anything wrong for him wanting that, but I just feel like with how they do business Cowboys-wise, I think that he could get that, but he's probably going to have to wait a while. Like, it's probably going to drag out. There's going to be a lot of back and forth, about getting that finalized. Cowboys really haven't done a deal like that. And so I don't think Mike has to do any more on the field to show you that he's worthy of being the top paid defensive player in the game. But yeah, the guarantees could certainly be a sticking point. So maybe that is what's holding the thing up right now. But whatever way you look at it, there's three different players: Dak, CD, Micah, all different representation. And in the end, it looks like all of them, their contracts will kind of be dragged out before they actually get done.
Let me ask you a hypothetical, John, if you don't mind. If for some reason this doesn't get done before training camp, do you see Micah, number one, sitting out of training camp? And if it goes farther than that, do you see him missing games?
I don't. I really don't. I don't think that he'd want to do that. I would think he would even be at training camp. He just might not participate, but I think he would want to be around. I do think that he really is into the whole taking on more of a leadership role, especially with the changes that have happened this offseason. Losing Jordan Lewis, and Zach Martin retiring, and then DeMarcus Lawrence leaving. Like, there is leadership needed on that defensive side of the ball, and I do think that he wants to take that over and be a bigger part of that. And so it would be hard for him to sit there and do that and not be at training camp because, he's not getting a contract extension. So, no, I think he'll be there. I just think it might drag out. So, yeah, it wouldn't be great, though, if he's not there. I mean, for Matt Eberflus, for Brian Schottenheimer, you're trying to establish some new things. You want your star player to be there for all training.
Well, that's it. And we know Jerry wants his star players, especially his team leaders, at all of the offseason activities, including the voluntary one. If he truly did get called into the office to meet with Jerry this week, do you think that would have been more of the conversation about expectations as a team leader before we start talking about numbers?
Possibly. I think that if they're even talking contracts, I have to feel comfortable with him leadership-wise and taking more than. I'm sure there's been conversations about that, or they wouldn't even be exploring contract talk. I think they would be trying to move him if they didn't think that he could be more of a leader on that defensive side of the ball. So I'm sure that Jerry and Mike have talked, but ultimately when it gets done, it'll be Jerry and Steven talking to David Mulugeta, about the details of it. But I think it's very clear if he signs that deal, just like with Dak signing his and CD signing his, not just for the play on the field, you also have to take on a bigger leadership factor here. This isn't just, punching the clock, showing up, doing your thing there. They're going to be, we need more from you also off the field.
Yeah, no doubt. And going back to that Micah tweet this morning, or Osa Odigizua, we look at his contract details, if you will, and it really looks like Jerry got over on Osa on that thing. Do you think Osa might have been a part of what Micah was talking about this morning?
I'm not sure. I do think Osa really wanted to be in Dallas as opposed to just hitting the free agent market and just going to the highest bidder. I think he really likes not only being a Dallas Cowboys, but living in Dallas and what they're building in that. So, maybe there is something about that maybe the Cowboys got a big advantage over. But then again, it's not like every player signs the best possible deal for every last penny they can possibly get. There's plenty of people. I mean, I'll go back to this until I'm blue in the face. Patrick Mahomes is worth $70 million a year, $75 million a year.
Yeah.
He's not making that, so we can't sit here and nitpick every little contract and be like, hey, this guy deserves an extra $1 million a year because this D tackle makes $2 million more than him. It's like, well, no, there's always going to be deals. you wouldn't even be able to put together a roster unless it was, I guess if you're the Los Angeles Dodgers and you have infinite amount of money. But outside of that, there's a salary cap. So there's always you could make the argument that when Trayvon Diggs signed his contract that he could have probably held out and got a little bit more at the cornerback spot. I mean, you could make that argument about Jalen Smith when he signed his contract, or La'el Collins, or Michael Gallup, or a number of guys. But I think there's also a part of some of these guys that they want to really be with the Cowboys, and so they might be willing to take a little bit less.
Going to be interesting. As for the event last night, and I know the PR people wouldn't take football questions, which I always find ridiculous. You're a football player. We want to talk to you about football. You got to take some, right? But at the same time, what was his mood, his demeanor? And I know Osa was there, other players there to support him.
Yeah, he was in a good mood. I wasn't there when Brian Schottenheimer was there, I heard. But when I was there, Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator, was there. Several of his teammates were there. No, he was in good spirits. I think he understands that he has an agent to represent him, and one of, if not the best agents in the NFL, representing him, that he knows what he's doing, and he sees these other contracts that are getting done. And I just don't think that Micah wants it to impact him, being out on the field when the time comes for OTAs, minicamp, training camp, and things like that. So as long as he's not missing any time there, I think he'll be fine. But if it gets to a point where he has to hold out, I think he'll be frustrated. I mean, I think it's pretty clear CD was frustrated with not being at training camp, and so, but that's where it would also get to an interesting point of, would he just still show up, but just not participate, but just still be in the building because he wants to show the rest of the team that he's still going to be around. And we might get to that. I frankly don't think it needs to get to that. I think they should be able to get something done before then, but we've seen this happen before.
Yeah, we sure have, right? It seems to be the status quo for the Cowboys. John, when's the next time you expect, or typically, that we'll hear from Jerry or Steven?
So there is an owners meeting in Florida in 2 weeks that I'll be going to, and Jerry will definitely talk there. I'd be shocked if he didn't. Steven will too. So yeah, within the next couple of weeks, they'll definitely be available. I mean, it's one of the yearly meetings that they have, that it's really usually for the new coaches and things like that. But all the coaches are there, all the team's front office are there. Jerry always talks but now he always talks to the combine too, and he didn't do it this year. But anyway, so there is a chance he doesn't, but I'd be very surprised if not. So I would think in the next couple of weeks.
It's interesting because, with all the talk about Micah and his deal that he does not have yet, the Cowboys aren't getting near the credit for the activity that they've had this year. Now, I'm not saying they've made a bunch of great signings, but it does look like they've done some things to improve their roster, and they certainly have been a lot more active, and they're not getting any of that credit because all the talk is about what they haven't done yet, and that is Micah Parsons. But the one guy they did bring in that I'm excited about is Dante Fowler, and listening to Dante talk, he's excited to be back in Dallas. How big of a move is that for that defense, out with D-Law and in with Dante Fowler?
I don't think there's any question it's been their best offseason addition. Getting Osa's contract done is number one, but the best addition from another team was adding Fowler for sure. Because now you have Micah, Dante Fowler, Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon. That's a solid core four right there, and you could probably add somebody else in the draft. They added Patrick Turner. They've added some other people. Peyton Turner. And so you've filled some area there where you don't have to worry about that early in the draft. They have been more active, but it's a lot of one-year deals, and there still are those. They need another wide receiver. They need a starting caliber running back. They probably need more help on the offensive line and defensive line. So because we are now, basically 2 weeks through free agency, and there still are those holes, I think that's why they don't get anybody giving them some A grade for their free agency. I think they're probably been about C+, B-, but there's still some other things that they could do. I wouldn't be surprised if they potentially do another trade for a veteran player, maybe at a corner. That's another position that they still need work at because you just don't know when Trayvon Diggs is coming back. And so I think that them being more active is a good thing, but there just haven't been a lot of big moves. But Dante Fowler would be the number one for me because he is a guy. He just showed you in Washington. He's capable. double-digit sacks. He's capable of double-digit tackles for loss. And I think you really need to add that when you lose someone like DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, and John, and I think he's happy to be back. I mean, he really genuinely seems happy to be back in Dallas playing for the Cowboys, and obviously that makes a huge difference as well.
It does, and it also surprised me a little bit because the ties with Dan Quinn go back to, Dante Fowler being recruited out of high school to college, and Dan was at Florida at that time, and that's where Dante Fowler went. And then obviously they had their connections in the NFL in Atlanta and then in Dallas, and then back into Washington. So I was kind of surprised he didn't just resign with Washington. But obviously he sees a big time opportunity in Dallas to, with Lawrence gone, that, hey, maybe I can have another double-digit sack season and I can get an even bigger contract next off season. So, when we had our conference call with him, I think he said something along the lines of, like, he kind of feels like he might be a late bloomer. Like, he's in his early 30s, but he might still have some really good years left in him. And so, yeah, it could be a good bargain for what they get in return. You have to feel better about defensive end than you did when you saw that DeMarcus Lawrence was going to Seattle. Like, I really think that was a good move to kind of fill that hole.
Jon Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. More importantly, I assume you've got Duke winning it all. Who's in your Final Four?
I don't have Duke. I'm a big, I don't like the jinx. I don't like the jinx my team. So I never, very superstitious. So no Duke there. I got Florida beating Auburn, I think is what I have. No, Florida and Auburn in the semis. I got Florida beating Houston. That's who it was. Yeah, I got them beating Houston.
Fair enough. I like Florida too.
So do you at least have Houston beating Duke? You got your team coming to the San Antonio for the Final Four?
Got them losing to Arizona.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. That surprises me in a lot of different ways. Although you are superstitious, so.
Just the superstition part, because if I'm being completely unbiased, I will be very crushed if they don't make the San Antonio, because this is their best team this is their best team since Zion Williamson. That team lost in Elite Eight. So no, this team is special. I'll be very disappointed if they don't get to San Antonio. And I want to go to San Antonio, so they need to take care of business.
Well, come on. It's a great city. You'll have a fun time for sure. Jon Machota from The Athletic. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Jon Machota. Subscribe to The Athletic. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. John, appreciate you, my friend.
Yep, you guys do the same. Take it easy.
Appreciate it. Jon Machota on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond.
Hey, it is springtime in San Antonio now. The weather is gorgeous right now, and, well, it looks gorgeous for the extended forecast as well, but you never know, and you know what's going to happen. Eventually, the spring thunderstorms will pop up, and you know the ones I'm talking about with the hail, the wind, the rain, lighting, all of that stuff. You want to make sure your roof is up to par for that thing. Stevens Roofing can make sure that everything is A-OK for when that big storm is upon us. In fact, you can call Stevens Roofing right now and have them come out. They'll send a crew out for a free roof inspection. The number to call is 210-785-0994. You can also visit them online at stevensroofing.net, because you don't want to let Texas weather catch you off guard. You don't want to do that. Your roof is too important to your home. It covers everything that you hold dear, of course, including your family. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned company. They are a local company, and they are the best in the business. Been in business a long time here in San Antonio and South Texas, and that just doesn't happen if you're not doing it right. Stevens Roofing is doing it right. Stevens Roofing, protecting Texas families one roof at a time. That phone number again, 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, the road to San Antonio continues. We'll talk about who's still headed our way.
The 16 might be sweet, but is Micah still salty? When's he going to get his money? We'll talk about that. Party starts at 6. Don't be late.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Now, the Sarlacc is a terrifying creature that was created by attaching a ferocious, sharp giant fangs to an armadillo named Apita from the Guadalajara Zoo. He's famous down there. He can beat you at tic-a-tac-a-toe 3 games out of 4.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Does this sound like your marriage? Wake up and realize that there's a better life waiting. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. At Barton & Associates, we specialize in navigating the complexities of divorce law, protecting your best interests, and ensuring you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but here's the thing. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control of the process and secure your future. If you're serious about protecting yourself and securing your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team you need. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. If you're tired of this, then start your better life today with Barton & Associates. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
If you're looking to up your beer game, Carbach has you covered. From Hopadillo to Crawford Bach to Ziegenbach to their best seller, the Love Street, there's something for everybody in the lineup, and you can find it anywhere. Next time you're out and about, ask your bartender to make it a Carbach.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Ryan Eagle singing along.
Absolutely.
I'm Jason Minix.
Now, they're not the original singers of that song, though, right? Was that a 60s song?
Who is this?
Counting Crows.
Oh, it's a good thing Pledge told you in your ear.
Exactly right.
Because otherwise you wouldn't have known.
I wouldn't have known, but it's a remake, though, right?
I have no idea.
It was a 60s song, I think, wasn't it? Or a 70s?
I don't know.
I don't know.
If anybody can tell us who originally did this song, but I don't know the answer to that, so let's just take caller number 17 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
you'll win a pair of tickets to go see the Counting Crows. They're playing at the ESPY, which is downtown by the Alamo Dome, August 2nd. TheESPY.com. And ESPY is ESPEE. And some people say, they go to the ESPYs and it's an award show from ESPN. No, SB, ESPEE, TheESPEE.com.
SPEEE.
Well,
Nice.
Ryan Nagel does a lot. ESPEE.
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. Hey, a couple of just quick NFL notes. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers had a long meeting with Pittsburgh, but he left without a deal. And the
6
Vikings.
hours. 6 hours.
Yeah, he left without a deal. And the Vikings are having discussions with former Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill about a potential deal.
Who?
You heard me.
What?
Yeah. See, they don't want that bum.
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers.
Dude. Interesting.
Yep. So there you go.
The Aaron Rodgers story is interesting because while they've talked, apparently not overly about money, but today, 6 hours, more of a get to know you.
What the hell do you talk to somebody for 6 hours?
We talk for 4 hours every day.
Well, I get that, but I know you already, and I get paid to do it.
This is true. Here's the lunchroom.
I guess.
Here's the weight room. Let's go get a sandwich because that's what they're known for there in Pittsburgh. I don't know.
So, Aaron, if
who's interviewing who?
That's what I'm saying. Aaron, if we sign you, are you going to be a donkey? Are you going to wreck our locker room like you've done everywhere else? I mean, those are some legit questions you could ask.
Well, here's the thing. You ask those questions in the first 15 minutes of the interview, and you're getting interview answers. 5 hours in, you're comfortable, and things are a little bit more honest.
Well, maybe
right?
Smoke a little pot, maybe have a few drinks.
I don't know
maybe
that he smokes pot. It's ayahuasca, and that's different.
Oh, is it different?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
I mean, it is Pittsburgh. Did they go find a darkness retreat area?
Jeez.
Go find a hole in the ground, Aaron, and have a conversation. Got a light on your phone? Got service? Let's go. I don't know.
My goodness.
I do know that our friend Clarence Hill Jr. from All City, Dallas, apparently had a long conversation with Micah Parsons. And the reporting on it is very interesting with the quotes. Parsons said today, unconcerned about not having a long-term deal. It's coming along well, Parsons said, according to Clarence Hill. That is a quote. He also said that $40 million is real for him. Quote, I just played these last couple of years on $2 and $3 million. I think if I had $40 million, I'd be the happiest man alive. You go from playing for the league rookie minimum and get that big jump. I think anybody would be happy. I
agree with that.
I mean, it's true. Parsons played last year, base salary of $2.989 million. Although on his fifth-year option, he's going to make $24.07 million. So it certainly doesn't seem like, even though the dude said many times he doesn't have to be, he's not offering any kind of hometown discount.
No.
Because he has been a bargain for the last couple of years, and now he wants to get paid what he's worth.
Well, nobody took him seriously anyway when he said that. All right? Even though he said it with conviction, nobody took him serious. He wants to get paid, as he should want to get paid. I mean, I don't begrudge him for that. Just a matter of, everything coming together that's going to satisfy him and Jerry Jones. Because, Jerry's going to try and make it no matter what happens or how the contract reads. Jerry's going to want to pretend like he won the deal. I mean, that's just what Jerry does. So this may take a while, and I hope it doesn't. I wish it wouldn't, because quite frankly, I'd like to, start looking toward the draft and other things, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. I just don't see it happening.
Well, and again, soon the relative nature of what that could be, I mean, what we do know is these things can come together quickly. If Micah certainly is saying these things, because he did confirm he had conversations with Jerry Jones. Now, the serious negotiating, I don't know that Micah is in the room for that. That's David Mulugheta to do his part and then go back to Micah and explain everything. And based on the tweet Micah Parsons had today, it does seem like Mulugheta is doing a lot of educating Micah Parsons on what is real and what isn't when it comes to these contracts. And you also look at, like the deal he did this week for Derek Stingley Jr. You look at the deal Mulugheta recently did with J.C. Horn. That's what you expect from David Mulugheta. So, but to hear Micah say 40, that's not 35, that's not 38. He's going to be the highest paid non-quarterback. And because there's no other big contract to wait for and see how it turns out, and every time Jerry waits, it costs him more money, maybe he does get it done sooner. Or the idea of risking the holdout, or what some of the other options could be if Jerry just says, dude, I love you, but I ain't going to pay you that much. The idea of a great defensive player, and we've seen over the course of the history of the NFL, seemingly more top-flight defensive players move because teams can mask that loss a little bit differently than you can, say, a quarterback or a special wide receiver. Although, sometimes you get too expensive and say, man, I can't pay you and everybody else. But it would be hard for the Cowboys to mask not having a Micah Parsons on the field with the way they have structured their defense around Micah Parsons and guys that can complement him. He's going to get signed. Jerry just has to figure out if this is what it's going to take and he's not budging, Jerry's going to end up caving. And might be one of those kind of deals where either both sides feel like they won or both sides feel like they lost a little bit, but it can't feel like one just completely got over on the other.
It looks like to me, or just a feeling, when you look at what Mulugheta has done, I'm thinking it's the guaranteed money, and he's going to want a bunch of that, right? And whatever contract they come up with, he's going to want most of that guaranteed. It just looks like that's his MO, right? So, which is, I don't blame him for that. You want that guaranteed money. You want to make sure you're going to get paid no matter what happens. So that could very well be the sticking point, because I just don't see Jerry Jones. I certainly don't see him fully guaranteeing anything, because if he does that and starts that, Cleveland did it, everybody got mad at him. If he does that and starts that, then everybody's going to want the same thing. And it's just difficult to dig yourself a hole like that and then tell the next guy, well, we're not going to do that. And I just don't see Jerry Jones playing that game.
I don't either, but I do see David Mulugheta playing that game. And so where is the compromise going to come in? And that's going to be the key word here. That's the negotiating part of what they've got to get done. It's all structured. But what concerns me most when I think about the potential of extreme high guarantees in this nature is the Cowboys have proven to be piss poor managers of the salary cap. And so now if you've got all this guaranteed money, that you would think might make it harder to manage the salary cap. At the same time, it might make it easier because you can't float as much. You can't, what is real and what isn't, and how is it going to apply against the cap? So, hell, maybe it makes it easier. I don't know the cap well enough to know one way or the other, but I do know the Cowboys don't seem to be very good at that aspect of the job. So, the idea of them managing that seems a little off.
Well, it's interesting, and I don't know if Jerry and Steven look at any other teams, right? I mean, but everybody thinks the standard is the Philadelphia Eagles because they know what they're doing when it comes to contracts. They've got some high-priced players that they're able to squeeze under the cap. And just the last couple, I mean, they're front-loaded and then or back-loaded. It's crazy. And, again, it's confusing as hell. But they managed to get it done, and they do it in a way where it doesn't hurt them financially. And I don't know why other teams aren't doing the same thing.
Well, it can hurt them financially down the road, but they're in a win-now mode where they're willing to do it now make it work now and pay the price later. The difference is they've won a Super Bowl. They're doing what San Francisco has done a couple of times that has gotten San Francisco 2 Super Bowls, but San Francisco hasn't won a Super Bowl. The Rams did a little bit differently, and so did the Bucs, but you can manage. Some are more front-loaded, but they have outs but if they try to get out of them, that's where it's going to cost them. So we'll see. But Philadelphia's proven it can be done. You just have to figure out, if I'm Jerry, this is what drives me nuts as a Cowboy fan. You have paid your quarterback and you've made that investment. You paid a wide receiver and you made that investment. You've got other guys that are making really good money that you've signed to because you are thinking those guys can get you to the Super Bowl. And because you're not giving Dak Prescott or CeeDee Lamb those contracts if you don't think you can win a Super Bowl and say, you've taken us as far as you can go, we're going to start over. And they haven't done that. So at least in their mind, they think those guys can get them to a Super Bowl. So why wouldn't you go, Jerry's words, all in and get the rest of the pieces? It makes no sense of let's build this big mansion, but you know what? I can't afford to pave the driveway, so I'm going to drive my Ferrari over this rock road getting there, and I dug a hole for the pool, but I can't put the cement down and make it nice. You built half of it, build the rest of it. You can get that done.
Well, you just got to go all in. That's what we've been trying to tell these guys for a long time. Just go all in. By the way, to the point there, Philadelphia doesn't hurt them necessarily down the stretch. They've won 2 Super Bowls since 2018. So, they managed to regroup and get it done. And if they can do it, then I just don't know why other teams can't. Well, and, of course, I'm specifically talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
You look at the way Kansas City has been able to do different things. They're all trying, I think, or not all, but a good number of those teams are trying. But, you get one that goes south on you, and that screws everything up. What a great time here at Twin Peaks. 410, 151, the Westover Hills location on Wednesday. Those that are going to be in the Miss Twin Peaks contest down in Miami, they're going to be here at this location.
Wow.
Doing a photo shoot from 5 to 9. Can't confirm that Greg Shelton is bringing his camera out, but that is happening at this location on Wednesday.
Be a great time to come. It was like 5 to 9. Is that the time? 5 to 9.
5 to 9 on Wednesday. Whether you're coming out for the late games tonight or you are here over the weekend, make sure you enjoy the rest of the tournament action here at Twin Peaks, which isn't far from the Golf Club of Texas, where we will have our golf tournament coming up on April 14th, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. Get signed up, sasportstar.com. Get it done this weekend. Get your buddies together and get signed up. Coming up next, we've got tournament basketball for you here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.